What's the one we go to way out in Cumming?
That's
We played up there.
way up past
Way-
Friends.
No.
No.
The one that's like.
In the win. Congratulations to him in making of the record books. NBA playoff action saw the Raptors take out the Cavs 93-89. That series is now tied at 2 apiece. It was the Celtics 128-96 over the Sixers. They are now up 3-1. The Spurs up 3-1 after down double digits to the Portland Trailblazers. Cool. They win 114-93. Hawks and Knicks off tonight. They take on each other tomorrow inside of Madison Square Garden. 8 o'clock tip. We'll see if the Hawks can come back home for Game 6 of 3 games to 2. And there it is. This is your home for Atlanta Braves baseball. The Fan 680 93.7 FM. You was talking to me one. Thanks for joining us here in the locker room on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM. Your home for Atlanta Braves baseball. They do it again. Another series victory and another game. They add 10.5 game lead over the Phillies. People like to be calm and be cool and be collected. It looks like they could vary, folks. I thought I was going to be buried as I pulled up the wrong golf course today. It's the worst feeling in the world when somebody says who, and you are about 15 minutes away from work. I pulled up at Atlanta National, not Atlanta Athletic Club, and the young man said, yes, may I see your ID? I said, yes.
No problem.
I said, where is everybody? He says, who? I said, this is a golf course. Yes, we're here to do a radio show. He says, radio show? Oh, no. So now I've got to text Andy. I got to text you guys in a few minutes. So it'll be breakfast on me. Have we been at another place in about an hour? It'll probably be a buffet.
Hey, by the way, our update there was brought to you by our good friends over at Tire Discounters. Braves hit a home run yesterday. Actually, they hit a couple of them. So today only, you can claim your coupon and save $100 on a set of Goodyear and Cooper tires. Plus, you're going to get a free alignment and oil change at Tire Discounters. Stop by Tire Discounters or check them out online, tirediscounters.com/Braves.
Now, tap that app on the way. You got the shot. You got the shot.
I feel worse. This is why I don't really talk.
Stop it, dude.
I was doing fine with
Talk
the
to
whole
him,
game.
You just let it go on too long. Listen, I've been listening to you talk about your sickness for a month. You got to go like a few days into being sick, then you clean it up. Now you've developed some other stuff. God knows what's going on inside your body. And when did you get the shot? Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, it's good. You can't get instant gratification from a steroid shot.
When I took Ozempic, my appetite went away immediately.
It takes about 5 days, 3 to 5 days for the steroid. And then the stuff you have has been festering in there
That's
for
what
a
I'm
month.
saying.
So it's got to get the mold and mildew out. So you have to let the medication work through your body, sir.
My wife looks at me last night and said, "You okay?" I go, "No, I'm not okay." She said, "You're over there sweating profusely." I'm like balled up underneath it. I feel terrible. I already texted Andy. I said, "Look, I feel like this in the morning." And part of the reason I'm here today, one, we're at Austin Riley's golf tournament, and I'm invited to play. So hopefully they have me in a cart by myself so I don't infect anybody that's out there. But I've been around you guys, and you guys aren't getting sick.
No, well, it's not. So what do they say? Do you have
I have
an
an upper
infection?
respiratory infection.
Oh yeah. So that's not viral.
Yeah, you two guys are a mess, by the way. You with your voice trying to fight through that thing for the last month. This one over here, just grinding through his little kind of sickness and cold. And
Well, I don't call
Okay.
out sick.
Okay, Slim, good body. The next time that you're a little bit banged up, we'll remember that.
you ain't gonna see me. I'll be at home recovering.
We're not malingerers. We try to come to
Right,
work.
try to come to work. We have a fun job.
Yeah.
This is a cool job.
Cool job, cool jobs. I used to work with somebody, Sandy, and if she would not be happy with you if you came to work the way you have the last few weeks.
But it hasn't been like his nose has been running. He's just-
Yeah, it has been.
Well,
You
you
haven't
haven't
seen
been
me
like
every commercial
sniffling
break.
all over us or sneezing or coughing.
I've
You've been
heard
coughing
the
a little
cough.
bit. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
looks like the Braves coughed up a win and the Red Sox coughed up a loss. When you start looking at Alex Cora getting fired, the Red Sox manager, and we have what used to be one of their aces, a champion in Chris Sale. That is a win for the Braves, who win 6-2. 150 wins now in the record books for Chris Sale, as not only did he show up, but he got out of a little bit of trouble early, and it was good to see him work through that. And another situation where the Braves bats, they get it done. They don't sweep the series. They take 2 out of 3, but in every game, they scored at least 5 runs. So when you score, 5 runs and somebody scores 6 to beat you, that's something you can live with. And that's what happened Saturday. But, there's nothing but ace written all over Chris Sale. And now the way he's feeling and the way these bats are going, this is another notch in the belt for Alex Anthopoulos.
Dude, you can't win the division in April, but you have put yourself in a great position.
Yeah, I don't know.
You have a 6.5 game lead over Miami. Philly and the Mets, who are supposed to be your closest competition, are now both 10.5 games
Jeez
back.
Louise.
You just keep winning series. You keep finding ways. And like I said, a big part of it for me is the early inning explosiveness out of the bats. You're jumping up 3-0, 5-0, 6-0. You're putting so much pressure on other teams. And with the way your bullpen pitches, a lot of these games are really 7-inning games. If a team doesn't have a lead on you by the 7th inning, typically you're going to win that game. So while you may not be able to win the division, you've definitely given yourself a very workable margin. as you get healthier. Spencer Strider pitched the other day in Gwinnett. Looks like he's real close to coming back. Sean Murphy's real close to coming back. You're going to be a better version of yourself here in another couple of weeks than you were at the beginning of the year, yet you're sitting at 20-9 and you're dominating everybody you play.
Here is Walt Weiss on the masterful outing from Chris Sale and talking about how this guy continues to find wins.
Always feel good when he's on the mound, especially trying to win a series in a rubber match. You know, I think he got a little out of whack there in the third, but true to form, he righted the ship there and gave us another great start. I think 9 strikeouts. I always talk about how special he is, and like I said, it was great having him on the mound in this rubber match to win a series. You know, the offense, we scored early. Thought we put together some really good at-bats against Nola early on. Bottom line is, you know, we scored enough, and then we won the series.
You know, when John, you were talking about the runs coming early, that obviously you had the talent there, but the instructions from the manager who told us that he wanted to attack pitchers and get to them before the 5th inning, it's a culmination of the culture that Walt Weiss wants to set, and now the execution by the guys, and you're doing it with your ace on the mound, and you're doing it with the 5th, the 6th, or the 7th starter on the mound.
And your guys that are coming through, it's everybody. Like we talked about how last year you never had 2 guys hot at the same time. There'd be one guy hit well and 8 other guys were terrible. This year you're getting 2 or 3 guys at all times coming up with contributions. Think about this. You're 10-3 against the NL East already. You're 10-5 at home. You're 10-4 on the road. Their projection now is to win 95 games. Can't believe you guys talked me out of it at Harris Cherokee, not taking the over.
Scared money doesn't make money, man. I went there 3 times, and now it's going to cost me, it looks like. And it also looks like, you know, I was having a conversation with somebody when we were talking about when the Braves won the World Series, how you made moves at the trade deadline. You're kind of in and out, and then you make the moves at the trade deadline, and every guy you added got hot, and then you got hot at the end, and you rode that hot streak.
Right.
Alex Anthopoulos has never had the team that was hot out of the gate that could possibly do it wire to wire, where the money, the additions, the manager, and it all goes well, even with injuries involved. And there are going to be injuries along the way without a doubt. But banking all of these wins and banking the cushion that they are putting together so far before we even get out of April, this is insane what the Braves are doing, as they are the first team to get to 20 wins.
It's been fun to watch, man. They got a good squad. You know, guys are stepping up and playing at a high level. And I think to Walt Weiss's point there, if you got a chance to win a series and you got Chris Sale on the bump for you, you got to feel really good. And they did. So another series win, just keep on rattling them off and making it happen. It's just really, really fun team to watch.
Falcons get into the draft. They get out of the draft. I think it's a win. It's a win because you went in with 5 picks. You came out with 6 players. That's good. That's good Falcon math right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you also added a bunch of people and a bunch of positions that needed to be taken care of. And I think when you look at what Ian Cunningham's philosophy was, it was clearly best player available at the positions. And so now you have a chance to start at least this season with a piece at every position you can think of. You got cornerback, you got wide receiver, you got linebacker, you got defensive tackle, you got offensive tackle. And so now your offensive coaches and your defensive coaches have plenty to work with. And now Avion Terrell, welcome to Atlanta, a brother combo in the secondary, which is going to be unique and certainly fun to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. And it seems almost gimmicky, like you got his brother to come play with him in the same position and do his thing. But in the NFL, it's not, you just want to find the best player that can help your team win football games. And the fact that they needed a cornerback and it was this kid and his brother is pretty special for that family. So it was nice to see them embrace and hug and be around each other when they got drafted, and special moment for the Terrell family for sure.
A couple of guys he'll be compared to moving forward. D'Angelo Pons, the kid out of Indiana, goes 2 picks later.
Okay.
The pick right after was Lee Hunter, a guy that we had talked about during the draft process that we really like. Big defensive tackle out of Texas Tech. So I'll pay attention to those guys. C.J. Allen went about 6 picks later at linebacker out of Georgia. So
now,
some guys in the second round. And if you want to look at Davidson Igbinosun out of Ohio State, who went at the back end of the second round, how do all those guys compare to Avion Terrell?
Now, that's the question. You went secondary over defensive tackle, and then you also didn't take C.J. Allen, a linebacker, when you ended up taking a couple of linebackers. So it'll be interesting to see, over the next 3 years what players around that area look like. But you can't be upset. Avion Terrell, very good technique-wise. The question a lot of people are raising, his size. He's not a big corner, but
he's not a small corner either. I don't know.
He's not little bitty.
About.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I think it's a fantastic pick. You look at the film they were showing, he's got great technique.
5'11", $190, $185. I mean, he's not going to be coming downhill and trying to tackle Michael Turner every other snap, but he's physical. He's not afraid of contact. He's athletic. The Terrell boys are put together now.
Right.
I mean, I was around. I saw AJ at the rally on the Runaway Rally Foundation event I was at. Dude is strong and put together. So, and apparently this kid is not far off.
Man, it was funny watching Justin Birney, our Saints Falcon hater, talk about our tiny corners and how we can't cover the Saints. Last I checked, the Saints didn't do dog crap against our defense last year. And AJ's not a little corner. Avion may end up playing more slot than he ends up playing on the outside, but you got two kids that absolutely can get it done. We'll talk about Clemson a little bit later on, one of the biggest underachieving programs a year ago based on what they had in the NFL draft.
Well, you have a chance, to figure out what you want to do, and you were able to do so. I think the Falcons, now it's the wait and see year begins. You get to wait and see for a lot of these guys, all the guys on 1 year deals, all the guys that now have been drafted, who's going to be able to start, who's going to be able to come in, make a contribution. You hope all of these guys are on the roster for a few years. And that's one of the things we were talking about. You go back through draft history, Falcons make drafts, and then, the guys in the latter rounds, we don't see them. And good teams, they have some of those guys stick around.
Dude, Harold Perkins is a guy that I cannot wait to see. He was a stud at LSU. I think he was misused a couple of times at LSU. If our defensive coordinator and Jeff Ulbrich turns him loose and they play him maybe in that Caden Ellis role where he's used as an A-gap blitzer and a guy that goes and gets the quarterback, I think you got a steal in the 6th round.
No doubt about it. To listen to the phone call from Ian Cunningham and Stefanski talking to Perkins, who they got in the 6th round.
Right.
It was really neat to be like, so there's on the call and he's like, you got a chance to do something special. Prove everybody that passed up on you 5 rounds in a row.
Right.
Let them know that you were supposed to be picked sooner than this, and you got a chance to prove
Am
it.
I a wimp that some of those calls make me tear up when you see these players that you've cheered for in college and they're sitting there on the phone and they're in tears and they're hugging their family? And yeah, I'm a wimp.
No.
When I see a guy getting 49, 58, 42 million, yeah, they should be crying.
A lot of them are.
They are happy moments.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, especially when you see some of the storylines. And you're right. There is, the transition of watching those guys, make it. That's why, the conversation of, do you stay home with the family and dap it up with all the in folks, or do you take the stroll down the hallway, take the selfie, and then walk out, dap up the commissioner, and hold up the jersey? Which one is more memorable, to each his own?
Yeah, this is going to be a year where I may be a little bit of a closet Bucks fan. Not going to lie to you. Seeing Ruben Bain go there, Keontae Scott going there as well. 2 games a year I want us to whoop their butts, and that's the Atlanta Falcons. I want them whooped, but I want those dudes to do well.
You need to take it down a notch.
I'm not worried about it.
You cannot talk about Tampa Bay like
good
that.
luck to him, but hey, man.
Yeah. What are you
trying to
cheering for my kids?
Stop him out.
Do not do that.
We'll be getting draft grades without a doubt soon. We're going to grade Michael Turner, who was able to call a couple of picks. Here is Michael Turner introducing the first Falcon in the Ian Cunningham era.
With the 48th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select from the bloodline, Avion Terrell, DB, Clemson.
I think it's
like
A+ work.
So suddenly he turned into a wrestling promo because the bloodline would be Roman Reigns and the Usos.
There you go. We got it
So
in.
he went with the bloodline.
We got the wrestling.
Maybe Paul Heyman should come up
6:35.
there.
Yeah, we got it in. There you go, John Michaels.
Unbelievable. Michael Turner did a great job. The 3rd round pick was awesome too, because he said say with the red and black.
Right.
But Michael Turner did a fantastic job and looked great. And it was fun to watch him go up there and make the picture.
Here's Kevin Stefanski. They let A.J. Terrell know, all these conversations. If you're picking a quarterback, you have a quarterback, do you let him know? Here's Kevin Stefanski talking about A.J. Terrell getting the information, not only that his brother was getting drafted, but it was the GM who decided to do it.
Yeah, it was Ian's idea to, show respect to AJ and let him know kind of what was in the works. Obviously, there was no guarantee that Avion was going to still be there at that time, but just felt like we wanted to give him a heads up.
So you said your brother is there. He's a Falcon.
That's right.
Finn, if Brad is there, we're taking it. How's that going to make you feel?
Pretty good, dude. That'd make me feel I would have a tough time. Those two embraced and hugged each other for over a minute when he finally got the pick and got this word that he was being drafted by the Atlanta
picture
Falcons.
of AJ Terrell and his little brother when he got drafted and how much younger he looked at the time, was the one that resonated with me. So
pretty special moment to have a set of brothers on the same NFL football team. Some good genes in that family, no doubt about it. And congratulations to Avion.
The next pick was one that a lot of people thought could be there, and it happened. And it was Michael Turner who was able to announce the next Falcon off the board.
With the 79th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select, I guess we're going to keep it red and black. Zachariah Branch, wide receiver from Georgia. Rise up, baby.
That's solid work there. So we get Zachariah Branch. He is going to be part of the offense. And when you have a quarterback battle that you're going to have, you now have another weapon. This guy is lightning quick. The question will be his durability and his size. As a little bitty fella, is he going to be able to do what he did in college in the NFL?
Yes, you're going to put him in the slot. He's not going to be on the outside. Think about Ray McLeod 2 years ago, and I know it's a totally different offense, but 2 years ago, 60 catches in the slot, over 600 yards. Tua's used to throwing to smaller receivers.
Yeah.
Your boy down there, Tyreek Hill, wasn't the biggest guy. Just get him the ball in space and let him make plays. Speed translates in the NFL.
He's so strong, too. He's put together yards after catch, little yak, yards after contact as well. He's not going to go down easy. You're going to put him in some different situations and spots. And I know we want to pigeonhole these guys into different situations and slot receiver this and that. And obviously that's probably where he'll spend most of his time. But his route tree will get better and bigger than it was at Georgia. You'll use him at different spots in different situations. And just Steve Smith's point, remember when Steve Smith was banging on Gunnar Stockton in the offense and everything else.
Right.
Now you got an NFL offense, and now let's see what he can do and where you want to use him.
He's a football player.
That's
He's
right.
been a football player that size for a long time, and I think he'll be just fine. All right, coming up, Kirby Smart was not only happy, he was part of a party in Athens. We'll let you hear that when we return here in the locker room on the Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM. of guys who were drafted in the NFL draft. Congratulations to all of the guys who went. You had 8 Bulldogs that got a chance to get their names called in the draft, and then several Bulldogs who were undrafted but now have already signed their contract. So congratulations to Monroe Freeling, going to be with the Panthers. Christian Miller, this one hurt me. This one hurt me, going to the Saints.
That number 42, 6 spots before the Falcons.
C.J. Allen was there for the Falcons at 48, and they went with Avion Terrell, so we'll see how that works out. Then this one hurt me again. Oscar Delp, he goes to the Saints, so the Saints get 2 big Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, I thought it was fun to watch Oscar Delp and his family celebrate and enjoy that. I think he's a really athletic, big, strong tight end. Obviously, they have they have a guy in place there already in New Orleans, but this will be a nice 1-2 punch for their tight end room as they got Oscar Delp, who I think was underutilized at UGA and has a chance to be, a decade-long NFL football player with special teams, being a backup tight end and doing his thing.
Big kid. Zachariah Branch goes in the 3rd round, 79
nice
overall to the Falcons. Then 85, Dalen Everett goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, so they'll get a nice piece in their secondary. 4th round, Colby Young goes to the Cincinnati Bengals, and that makes the T. Higgins signing a couple of years ago. Now, you paid him, and you couldn't fix your defense. Now you draft a young wide receiver who's a big body, and then Micah Morris goes to Philadelphia in the 6th round at 207. The Bulldogs, who are going to be undrafted free agents and have already signed long snapper Bo Gardner and punter Brett Thorson, defensive back Ja'Cory Thomas, solid player, other wide receivers Dylan Bell and Noah Thomas, and the running backs Josh McCray and Cash Jones.
Where'd Cash Jones go?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Let's go.
Here we go. Cash Jones now a Falcon.
Cash money.
He already is requested number 86.
We've got to get Brian
He is
Finner.
not allowed to wear number 86, by the way.
We've got to get Brian Finner and Cash Jones.
100%.
All right, everybody just relax. I didn't say he wasn't a good football player. I didn't like that he was supposed to be the guy on specific, clutch situations for Georgia at times.
You want to know why he was
Whatever,
touching the ball?
dude. It doesn't matter. I'll be pulling for Cash Jones.
He's an NFL player. That's why he was touching the ball.
He's an Atlanta Falcon.
It's a Falcon. That's right.
You guys do not make this what it's not. Please, for the love. This is Cash Jones.
Cash Jones taking over for the 99 and the 2000s.
You got a chance to do something and play special teams for a long time in the NFL, and he could be our Kevin McAdam, our Eric Weems, Eric Weems, and all the different things that those guys are capable of doing. He's not going to be your starting running back. We know that. That's obvious.
What if on 3rd down he's in a pass situation?
You gotta trust the drafting abilities of Ian Cunningham and the play calling abilities of Kevin Stefanski. You have to give him a chance to get that first down.
Who else?
Like Kirby.
Okay.
It was unblocked.
All right. Be the field for Cash Jones. Okay, it's a nice little story.
I don't think we'll have a full house with Cash Jones.
He'll be a personal protector on punt protection.
Right.
He'll be an R5 or an L4 on kickoff coverage.
Right.
He'll be a guy on punt return to hold dudes up and get after the punter and probably block a punt in his career. He's going to be a nice football player for the Falcons. I love picking up guys like that.
For the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, Keelan Rutledge went in the 1st round, 26 overall to the Houston Texans. And Jordan Vandenberg, South African kid,
defensive tackle,
in the 6th round to the Chicago Bears. You have to wonder what that means for their defensive line and maybe the Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett's in the middle of that 3-year contract.
Right.
If they're going to keep Grady, if they'll let him go. That's something to work out.
I mean, Grady can still play it a little bit,
Yeah.
so he'll get another year there, I would imagine. But yes, to your point, he's aging out, but that's what happens in the NFL.
The undrafted Jackets, Eric Rivers, wide receiver, showed some speed and the ability to make some big plays. Jamal Haynes, running back, is signed a deal with the Bengals. And the king of the city, Haynes King, reportedly signing with the Carolina Panthers.
That sucks. If we get Taysom Hill by Haynes King now, I'm going to be really annoyed.
Stop it, dude.
What do you mean stop it?
Dude, there's one person in the NFL that looks like Taysom Hill. His name's Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
you're not turning Haynes King into like this
He's not playing
Swiss Army knife.
He's not playing wide receiver.
He's going to do a little bit of everything.
He doesn't have the wheels to play wide receiver.
And according to Tom Pelissero, he got like a $250,000 signing bonus. So they're not bringing him in to be the 5th quarterback.
They don't want Bryce Young running the ball. They don't want that.
He ran a 4.440.
I'm gonna just have to see it to believe it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God!
What do you mean?
The attacks.
He's not gonna.
The attacks on Cass Jones and now the attacks
Now on
Kansas
Haynes
City.
King.
I'm not attacking Haynes King. I'm just telling you, he's probably gonna go there and try to play quarterback. And if they realize that he can do other things, maybe they'll sprinkle him in. But let's not make him Taysom Hill already.
Well, he'll get his chance like everybody else who is drafted and undrafted and get a chance to show his wares. So the Dogs and the Jackets showing up in the draft and as undrafted free agents. All right, coming up, it's about math now and about being aggressive for the Hawks moving forward, and this guy just has to do it. We'll get to that when we return here in the locker room on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM.
Tomorrow night, Truist Park comes alive as the Detroit Tigers take on the Braves in an interleague matchup.
Swung on and hit with massive force. Deep to left field, it's a tie game on a 2-run homer by Ronald Acuna.
Matt Chuck and Domingo lead off with
Chris, we got a minute here?
At 5:15, only on the Fan and streaming.
Yeah. All right.
Sadie the Fan app.
Yeah, it's working for me.
Solution that worked for me. It's Advanced Hair's
Update brought to you by Tire Discounters, where the round trip or home run promotion is going to save Braves fans on sets of tires. Braves hit a couple of home runs yesterday, so today only you could claim a coupon to get $100 on a set of Goodyear or Cooper tires. Plus, you're going to get a free alignment and oil change at Tire Discounters. Visit tirediscounters.com/Braves to claim your coupon. They win 2 or 3 over the weekend from the Phillies. Chris Sale picks up win 150 on his career. He goes 6 innings of shutout baseball, strikes out 9. Braves have an off day today. They'll play tomorrow as the Tigers come to town. Hawks and Knicks coming up, Game 5 tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. That's going to be an 8 o'clock tip. Raptors, Spurs, Celtics, and Rockets all get wins yesterday. Over the weekend, the Falcons took Avion Terrell, Zachariah Branch with their first 2 picks of the draft. We're your home of the Atlanta Braves, the Fan 680, 93.7 FM.
Welcome back in to the locker room on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM. Home team beat Finn. John Michael, 6 o'clock hour, brought to you by Right From the Heart. Sign up and receive your daily devotionals by email at rightfromtheheart.org. We are broadcasting live from Atlanta Athletic Club. Austin Riley hosting his 4th annual charity golf tournament here, bringing together Braves teammates, legendary athletes, musicians, actors, WNBA players, former NFL greats and Hall of Famers. And the tournament benefits the Warrior Alliance, a Georgia-based nonprofit dedicated to supporting service members, veterans, and their family. And to this date, Austin and the event has raised more than $500,000. So helping bring some national attention and meaningful situations to support veteran organizations. Now, we're going to need a big-time performance if you want to have a chance to close out at home, or else you're going to have to come home and be fighting for your playoff lives as the Braves showed us you can do it on the diamond. The Hawks are going to have to show it again on the basketball floor as they dropped their last game Saturday to the Knicks, 114-98. They really were behind from the start. The Knicks were not messing around at all, as they knew what it was going to be. They could not be down 3-1. And so we talked about them giving us their best effort, and they came out and did. First 2 timeouts, they were a completely different team, not taking stupid shots. And the Hawks had to play from behind the entire way, and it was just a bad place to be in. Once again, got to see who's going to be the other scorer, and we got to see if we can get Jalen Johnson rolling.
Yeah, and it's a big part of it. You can't be down 14 at halftime the way that they were. Jalen Johnson just 4 of 12. Literally, it's been C.J. McCollum has really carried them the entire series. Dyson Daniels is never going to be an offensive player. Jonathan Kuminga was yakking up too many threes, 0 of 6 from downtown. I want him with a shoulder in somebody's chest, getting to the basket. And you're going to have to play with force in Game 5 because, trust me, the New Yorkers are going to be as loud as humanly possible. They're going to make it tough. You know, we didn't play great on the road in either of the 2 games, although you were able to go up there and get a steal. You got to get another win in New York and take care of home court if you want to get through this first round.
Here's Quinn Snyder saying it was Knicks from start to finish, and there's no reason to even cry about it.
More than anything, the start of the game, their physicality bothered us. We didn't do the things that we need to do to have success against them. We turned the ball over. There's no transition when you're turning the ball over and bringing it up, out of the net. We didn't crash the way we need to. Felt like there were 50-50 balls that they came up with. So we've got to be better.
No doubt about it. And the 50-50 balls have been an interesting part of this deal, because when they made that game close on Thursday night last week, when the Hawks went up 2-1,
right?
That's what got them back in it, those 50-50 balls, and just being able to kind of be at the right place at the right time, but also be big and strong and tough. So you gotta improve in that department. And then to your point, Johnny, I mean, know who you are and what you're doing.
Right.
0 for 6 from downtown for Kuminga is silly. Just get to the rack and dunk on people and slash.
They were 10 for 41 from downtown. Yeah. 10 for 40. You can't win in Pop Warner basketball. You can't win in pickup basketball going 10 for 41.
Right.
Nevertheless, an NBA playoff game.
Well, there were no excuses made. There were some calls, and, we're seeing some of the calls go the way of the Knicks, but that's the way it goes. Look, they're the veterans. They're the team with the stars. They're the team that's been there before, and so you have to earn some of those calls. Here's C.J. McCollum making no excuses and not letting the door be open for any excuses to be made for the Hawks losing Saturday night.
The officials aren't why we lost by 20. We got to put the ball in the hole. We got to get stops. We got to rebound. We didn't do those things. We got to fight for our space. We got to be more physical. There's so many things that we have to do better. We didn't get loose balls again tonight. All those things kind of snowballed. And in these types of games, it's a possession game. It matters. And when they get second chances, when they get, run out layups, transition threes, the game begins to not go in your favor.
So no excuses. You got beat. They came in here and they got us. So
2-2 after 4 games. I mean,
yeah, you're exactly where you want to be.
No question.
Where you want to be. They had home court advantage. They just won it back. And so you still have a chance to get them back. If you can win tomorrow night, then you have a chance to close out. You don't win, then you have to play for your playoff lives and a chance for Game 7 where the proverbial anything can happen is now in your favor. So we'll see how things show up. The Atlanta Falcons had a lot of favor. They go into the draft with 5 picks, and they come out with 6 players as Ian Cunningham made a trade to trade back, picked up an extra pick. And I thought it was very patient, very measured, and he did what he said he was going to do. He values draft picks, and he values best player available. He does not get into dealing cards and moving up. He stayed where he was, moved back to get one more pick, and now I think this was a good draft. Be interesting to see what the draft grades look like. But for me, it was a solid draft. You got positions you needed, and the best guy on the board, he was there now in Atlanta Falcon when you took him.
Yeah, think about it. Your draft grade is not going to be high because you didn't have a first-round pick. So, and that was not Ian Cunningham's doing. Your first-round pick, it looks like now will probably play this year at some point, is you're going to get James Pierce Jr. back at some point, whether it's 4, 6, or 8 games that he's suspended by the NFL, but he will play. The difference there is you got guys that are going to come in and contribute. Avion Terrell has to be a starter. May not be on the outside, but he's definitely got to be a starter. Zachariah Branch has got to be a starter. So you're second and third round, and you're rolling your eye. He's your third receiver. He's got to be your third receiver.
Oh yeah.
I don't care about what was the guy we picked up from Philadelphia, Jahan Dotson, whatever. He had 19 catches. That dude should be fighting for his job here.
Yeah, no, he'll play a lot. I shouldn't have looked at you like that. I apologize.
Yeah.
He'll be on the field.
Maybe a dirty look.
He'll be on the field a lot. Zachariah Branch will be. Now, will he be starting? That's a different thing. But when you have people can start 4 receivers, for God's sake. So
if we're in a 3 receiver set, I think he starts in the slot.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that.
There is no number 2 wide receiver right now. So he's got all the leeway in the world to earn a spot and earn a lot of balls coming his way. Here is Kevin Stefanski talking about getting Avion Terrell and now having another piece in his secondary.
Avion's his own man. And to be able to just grade him for who he was and who he is, we're excited to get him. He's tough, competitive, scrappy, plays the ball, plays the game the way that we want our guys to play. So we're just excited to get a player of his caliber at the point of the draft where we got him.
So they liked their pick. They were solid, and they were moving forward. Here's Avion Terrell, who was not told. His brother, A.J. Terrell, was told that they would be taking his brother if he was available. And Avion said he wasn't sure, but he could feel something going on.
He tried to. See, I've been knowing AJ my whole life, so I know when the body language changed. He was sitting down the whole night, then he got up. So I was peeping him a little bit like, okay, something going on. Pick 45, I already knew it. He hit it good from everybody else, but I can see through him. I know his body language.
You know your brother. So
would you be able to keep a secret from Brad? If you would have known the Falcons were going to sign Brad, would you have been able to keep a poker face?
It would have been tough. It would have been very, very tough. And you see the body language like you talked about. You just know too much about him.
Yeah.
You've been around him too long to know that something had changed a little bit. So
I would have had to get up and go have a drink.
Really fun moment. You ain't kidding for that family and those guys. So what a special deal. I don't know how many brother combos have played together on the same team in the NFL.
Did any of the Crockett's, Henri or Zach Crockett, play together?
I know the Blackwood brothers did.
I played with Henri. I don't remember his brother being there.
Lyle and Glenn Blackwood.
Yeah.
They did in the early 80s. I used to joke that the last 2 white safeties that played together.
The last name Blackwood?
Blackwood. Lyle and Glenn Blackwood. They were both safeties for the Dolphins. I'm trying to think of other brothers that may have played together.
McCourty brothers.
The McCourty brothers. There we go. Devin and Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Not
the
a
Barbers,
lot.
Tiki and Rondé.
Did they ever play together? I don't think they were on the same
team, but they never played. No.
have to
Really
look
cool
that one
though.
up.
Regardless of it, this is going to be, and I don't know how if it affects anything in game stuff. I mean,
we missed the biggie, the Watt boys.
Oh.
T.J. Watt, Derek Watt.
Yeah, but we're talking about playing together.
Yeah,
not
on the same
on
team.
the same team, not it just in the NFL.
Well, J.J. Watt.
TJ, JJ.
They didn't play together one year?
No.
Okay.
Guy's been in Pittsburgh his whole career.
And the other one was in Houston.
So we'll see now.
Start making stuff up, home team.
I'm just trying to see. I was thinking about brothers and brotherly love. Here's Kevin Stefanski also talking about Zachariah Branch. Now, what we need is speed. What we need is another wide receiver. Whoever's quarterbacking needs as many options as they possibly could have. And he talked about what he saw in Zachariah Branch, the dog speedster who now puts on the red and black for the Falcons.
Ian and crew have done a ton of work on Zachariah. I had him in here for a visit. We've spent a lot of time with him. The coaches have, and he really has a great schematic fit, also a great personal fit for what we believe in and how hard he works. But a player that you can really line up all over the field. You go back and watch his tape over the course of his different stops and the way he was utilized. I think there's a ton of versatility there, and also he provides value in the return game.
I think
which
this
is no small thing.
This is Stefanski pick, even though Cunningham and his scouting team put together. And I say that because, look, you're picking Terrell first, best player available. All right, now you got an offensive coach. He needs a weapon. This is the first guy you identify as the weapon that he needs for his offense. And I know his quarterback is going to, whoever his quarterback is going to operate the offense. But this is something for the offense to be dramatically good for 17 weeks.
You got your tight end situation locked up.
Check.
Bringing Austin Hooper and backing that thing up, and the other guys they got there. The running back position is loaded. Quarterback, obviously, it's either Tua or Michael Penix Jr. And then the receiver, you need another guy. It was a huge need for this football team because it's Drake London and then who at this point. You brought in some guys in free agency, but to John Michael's point a minute ago, one of them had 19 catches last year, and you're just not sure what you're going to get out of those guys. So this was a huge need, and they filled it, and hopefully Zachariah Branch can do some of the stuff that he did at Georgia, and then even more here in Atlanta.
Look, I would have liked to build more on the lines of scrimmage. I think I tweeted out after the third-round pick of Zachariah Branch, I said we need to build some depth on the inside of the defensive line. Now, part of that, Mason Smith, the trade for Ruka Rororo, you had gotten bigger at D tackle, and maybe that was their hope, that a kid that was a former draft choice could end up being the guy that helps be your plugger in the middle. Outside of that, the first two picks are the guys that are going to be the ones that you're ultimately graded by, because they're going to be the two that walk in and have to make an impact sooner rather than later. Home team's right. I forgot Derek Watt was a brother of T.J. Watt.
He played so too.
Derek Watt and T.J. played together with Pittsburgh. The Griffin boys, Shaquille and Shaheen, also played together in Seattle one year.
Champ and Boss.
Champ and Boss played together. Okay.
Played together.
There you go. So we're getting some help from the team. That's what it takes. It takes a village to help out this show. You have a situation now where the Dogs send 8 guys in the draft, and the Jackets send a couple, but the free agents that sign are also still having the opportunity to play, as a running back, Cash Jones, is signing a contract with the Atlanta Falcons. So see if he can be a special teamer, be in there in camp and make some noise. Josh McCray, also another running back. Dylan Bell and Noah Thomas also getting an opportunity for the Dogs to get out there on a football field, even though they weren't drafted.
Do you have where Dylan Bell ended up landing?
Dylan Bell ended up.
That's a kid I'm going to watch because I really enjoyed watching him play at Georgia. And again, another guy I thought could have done more with kind of a more wide open offense.
Right. Noah Thomas is interesting because he's 6'6".
So Dylan Bell went to Minnesota with the Vikings.
All right.
Who's that you just said?
Noah Thomas, 6'6" receiver that they just didn't use hardly at all. Can somebody find him as a red zone threat?
Yes, 100%. So we'll see what happens to those guys. Those are the ones that kind of will be fun to watch over the course of their careers, and see if they can stick on the team and impress some people and make something happen, because they're big, giant athletes that can play football, and it's just a matter of getting an opportunity and working hard.
And for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, the king of the city, Haynes King, undrafted, Jamal Haynes, undrafted. And so you now have a chance to see those guys, see if they can make a team and be NFL players and show up on Sundays like they did on Saturday for Brent Key.
I think Haynes King is going to make the Panthers. He is going to be a jack of all trades. He's too athletic. He's too, his dad was a football coach. He knows football too well. Can he be their third quarterback / jack of all trades? And if he does that, I just hope he doesn't turn into something that burns us over and over and over again.
A couple draft grades that came out. CBS Sports gave the Falcons a B+. They loved the first couple picks with Avion Terrell and Zachariah Branch. Both got an A+ for Terrell, an A for Branch. The 4th round pick said they left the head scratching a little bit and gave it a D for the Daniels kid out of Oklahoma, big giant linebacker that you don't see a lot of anymore. 6'5", 242, big son of a gun, but try to figure out where you're going to play him.
This has been a horrible run defense.
I agree. No,
so
I like
a
watching this
big linebacker. Maybe stop some of that closer to the line of scrimmage than not.
Sports Illustrated gave him a B as well. They like the Terrell pick at 48, complimentary of the day 3 picks. However, just the picks made and not the players acquiring the draft pick. By the way, I haven't really mentioned that. We moved back in the 4th to pick up Daniels, the linebacker from Oklahoma. Got yourself an extra 6th. Which you had another player there as well. So I thought it was good. I thought it was a nice draft. I thought they did a good job first time around, and it'll be fun to see how these guys end up playing.
I just want this to be the last year we don't have a first-round pick ever, because it changed the way we watched the draft. I mean, I watched on Thursday night, obviously, to see where people were going and, what our division looked like. Not having a first-round pick sucks. Feels like you didn't get invited to the party. You, got the last invite to the party. Oh, by the way, you can show up.
There's a lot of teams, though. There's, I think, 5 or 6 teams without a first-round draft pick. So it seems, and I have not really paid much attention to that in the past because we've usually had our first-round pick outside of the Julio Jones trade.
Right.
So not to be at the party like you're talking about was not that fun. Was it Thursday night when this thing started?
Yep.
So yeah, it was different, and I'd rather not be there again.
Diego Pavia, undrafted.
Who was going to draft a 5'7"?
I don't know what else he could do. What he should have done was been.
What was he listed at? 5'9",
5'10", 5'9".
No, it wasn't 5'10".
He was not 6 whatever because they had him in the Vandy depth chart.
Do NFL scouting combine.
Just relax.
He doesn't
do whatever I want.
Don't you?
5'9".
Yeah, 5'7", 5'9", same thing.
Well, he talked himself out of any opportunity anyway.
Did you see all the memes and pictures they sent out there? It's like some big giant black dude standing next to some white kid. And they'll post all the pictures about Dave Pavia standing next to Lamar Jackson, trying to play for him, demanding himself to be the starter.
He can go hang out in the UFL.
Yeah.
There's football for him. Maybe the Arena League.
All right, let's let him get through training camp.
If not, our flag league in Swanee, he could be a dynamic player.
Okay.
7 o'clock hours brought to you by Loganville Ford, your destination for your next F-150 or Ford truck at LoganvilleFord.com. Loganville Ford, where your dreams matter.
Hey, don't forget, all day long, you can tap the app or 680 The Fan app. It's all brought to you by our good friends over at Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Check them out online, beavertoyotaofcumming.com. They'll show you what, wow, really means.
Long weekend, but a good weekend. Good news again in the Finneran household as another one of the Finneran brood is now going to be betrothed to another.
No doubt about it. My wife did a great job getting everything ready to go and making it happen. We did it on the back porch and kind of had it set up and surprised his girlfriend, Lauren. So Keenan got engaged over the weekend on Saturday morning, and both families were there and a part of it. And really, really sweet, kind of nice moment for him and Lauren. So it's really kind of surreal when you think about it that, I don't know when they're going to get married. Hopefully not for a couple of years.
All right.
I got to get through this Connor marriage wedding first.
Oh, yeah. Out in Cali.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, just keep checking them off the list, dude. It's a lot. So
lucky for you, you only had one daughter, though.
You ain't kidding.
If you had three girls and one boy, reversed.
I'd be sending him off to elope somewhere. That's what I'd be doing.
Well, I told you, he just re-signed his deal with David Dickey.
That's right.
What, he's out a 12-year deal?
He actually just extended it. He's now here till 2091.
That's exactly right.
That's a lot of sacrifice. I guess I am spoiled because I have not had to go too far for friends or family weddings.
Right.
When somebody gets married to somebody in another state or cross country, the experience is a little bit different for both families that are involved.
Yeah, I haven't gone. I'm trying to think of the farthest we've gone. We went to Cabo this year for Tony Philo's daughter's marriage, which is probably the farthest we've gone. And then California will be for Connor's wedding in the end of May. Is a little bit of a hike too, and we'll see how that goes. But it's all going to be awesome and super fun. So it was nice to spend some time with Lauren's parents on Saturday after they got engaged and welcome them to the family. Scott and Patty, little brother Dylan and his little girlfriend Olivia were there as well. So it was it was very nice. And Aaron did a lot to get ready for this thing. And you want a surprise, you got to help get the ring. Solomon Brothers did a great job setting Keenan up with the ring as well. So that worked out fantastic.
Shout out to Jaron Solomon.
No doubt about it. So a lot of it came together. And then really great weather over the weekend as well, except for that one little, 2-hour little rainstorm that we needed. But it was great. Thank you for bringing it up and appreciate everybody that was a big part of it.
All right, coming up, who replaces the quarterback talent that just got drafted? There are a lot of guys who have a lot of shoes to fill. We'll get to that when we return here in the locker room on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM.
The 7 a.m. hour is brought to you
professionals.
Ford, your destination for your
Guys, Finn here. Lights did an absolute job on our gutters, and to get those things done by Dr. Roof was awesome. They came out, replaced all the gutters, and by the way, I got a bunch of quotes from different companies. They were the most reasonable, most detailed, and did a fantastic job making it happen. With nearly 40 years of experience, Dr. Roof in Atlanta, and over 125,000 homes cared for, Dr. Roof keeps your roof, gutters, and exterior healthy and protected. They can make it happen for you. Schedule a free appointment today at drroof.com. Your roof protects everything. Trust the experts who protect your roof. Dr. Roof, we have you covered.
Apple CarPlay and Android Auto will change the way you listen to 680 The Fan at
victory and an important day for Chris Sale. Good morning. I'm John Michaels. Your update brought to you by Tire Discounters, where their round trip or home. Yesterday, Braves hit a couple of home runs, so today only you can stop by Tire Discounters and claim your coupon to get $100 off a set of Goodyear or Cooper tires, plus a free alignment and oil change. Visit TireDiscounters.com/Braves to claim your coupon today. They win 2 of 3 from the Phillies, still have yet to lose a series all season long. 6-2 the final yesterday. Chris Sale picks up win number 150 in his career as he goes 6 shutout innings with 9 strikeouts. Braves have an off day today, then they play the Tigers. Coming up tomorrow, Hawks and Knicks. Tomorrow night is going to be a pivotal Game 5 in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Retief Goosen wins the Mitsubishi Electric Classic. We're your home of the Atlanta Braves.
Welcome back in to the locker room on the Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM. Your home for the Atlanta Braves, who win 6-2. They also win another series, and Chris Sale picks up win number 150. Congratulations to him. We also are proud to be partners with the Georgia Swarm, who got a postseason win as a dominated Brian Finner.
Domination.
Gas South Arena. Thank you for the invite. I got to
yes, sir.
Walk with you to the mayor of Gas South Arena. Got a chance to walk around with the mayor in there while we were watching Hawks on our phones and then watching the Swarm give themselves a postseason victory.
No doubt about it. Got to spend some time with my boy Fitzy.
Yes.
Billy Fitzgerald, his lovely wife, Jessica, and a couple of their kids were there as well. Aaron and I and home team and Tracy. So we get a chance to take in one of the better Swarm games I've ever seen, dude. 17-10 beatdown of the Buffalo Bandits. Now they move on and take on Halifax. They play Saturday night. I don't know if they play before that or not, but they definitely play Saturday night at home. I think it's 6 o'clock. So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. 7:30. I apologize.
7:30?
May 2nd. 7:30.
Well, when you get a chance, you need to go see the Georgia Swarm. Plenty of parking, a great family situation, a lot of scoring, there's a lot of energy, a lot of fun in the building. One of the treasures here in the Metro Atlanta area, the Georgia Swarm, who move on in postseason action. Now, you had 10 quarterbacks that moved on in college football. Who in the world is going to replace that kind of talent? And will the shoes be able to be filled by the new guys? John Michaels, he runs us through that with the RPO.
More than just the dogs and jackets. We cover the entire college football landscape. It's the Locker Room's run-pass option. Presented by Subaru of Gwinnett on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth or online at SubaruofGwinnett.com. You'll love the difference.
14 minutes of serious RPO action, dude. Don't jack this up.
Serious. Okay.
You got 10.
I got as long as I need.
Got 10 minutes.
All right. You had a bunch of guys go in the NFL draft over the weekend. Quarterback becomes the question. You're talking about 10 dudes that were gone. First and foremost, Fernando Mendoza, who is going to replace him? Well, we've talked about him on this show quite a bit. Josh Hoover, transfer from TCU. 3,400 passing yards in back-to-back years or more than 27 touchdowns. But his coach told you he turns the ball over quite a bit.
He certainly did.
He definitely took some shots at that. So can he walk right in and be seamless for Indiana and Fernando Mendoza?
Listen, I think to Kirk Cignetti's point, when he kind of clapped back at those that soundbite, he said he's got a great running game, an unbelievable defense, and a new coach too. So I think there'll be more respect for the football at Indiana.
Number 13 overall, bit of a surprise. Ty Simpson to Alabama goes that high. They actually have a quarterback competition going on right now between Keelan Russell and Austin Mack, although I think Keelan Russell is going to be the kid. He was a 5-star recruit, can run, maybe gives Kalen DeBoer something that he hasn't had as far as a dynamic quarterback here in a couple of years. I know Ty Simpson was really good, but Russell's going to give him a run element they didn't have. Carson Beck goes first pick of the 3rd round to the Arizona Cardinals.
Congrats to Carson Beck. That's
he
awesome.
Actually has a chance to be the starter.
Yeah, he could be in there before the season's over.
Maybe not year one.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Him, Jacoby Brissett.
End of the year, they got 4 or 5 wins and not going anywhere.
Right.
Jacoby Brissett would have done his job. Might be Carson Beck time.
Well, who's going to potentially replace him? Darian Mensah, quarterback who transferred from Duke, 34 touchdowns, 6 interceptions a year ago. Could be really, really good. Could be really, really good.
I think he will be really good. He is really good. And now you got him down in Miami with a bunch of weapons, and the Tony kid as well. So
running game with Mark Fletcher.
Forget about it, dude.
He's going to be a Heisman.
Tony back and Fletcher back. Then you got to just replace some guys on the defensive side of the football. The U should be. They're back.
And it's the ACC. They're going to run through it.
Look at you.
They're going to run through it.
I'm not going to run through all the rest of the quarterbacks because a lot of them are guys we probably would not know. Somebody who may have some answering to do about what happened last year is Dabo Swinney. And Dabo Swinney joined our weekend show this weekend, part of the draft preview.
Oh, nice.
He was on with Buck and Andrew Gardner and who else was on? And Heath Klein. And he was in there talking about a lot of stuff there. But they got a lot to answer for right now. Clemson went 7-6, yet they had a ton of draft choices. They had some of the most draft choices of anybody on the board. Is Dabo Swinney now somebody that becomes under pressure just a little bit?
What happened? What do you think happened with that season last year? Were there injuries that he had to deal with? Was the quarterback not quite as good as what
quarterback
you thought
didn't live up to expectations. His 2 defensive linemen that were preseason top 5 picks didn't really live up to expectations. But you can't have, I think it was 9 picks, 9 guys picked in the draft and go 7-6.
You lost close games. You lost early.
Yeah.
Sometimes, college football, you just got to go. And they didn't have their momentum. The Georgia Tech game was the one that really put them out. And now you got mental stuff going on. Who are we? He's got to galvanize the guys to get them back together. So it was a rough season. They had talent, clearly. Clearly you had the players to do better. But I think the quarterback situation, he just wasn't as good as they thought he was.
I'm sorry, he was on with Heath and Westy over the weekend. Thank you, Road Dogg. I know he was on. I just forgot who he was with over the weekend, but good stuff. To get Dabo Swinney on, we got to get him on because he's a friend of Brian Finneran, and you have some stuff there. Interesting news.
So the story behind that is Deshaun Watson was the ball boy that was here for a while? So Deshaun Watson was a ball kid, and then Dabo would come over, and visit the Falcons every once in a while when he was here, and I was playing. So there you go. Anyway, he was aware of who I was.
He remembered you from
That's
ACC
exactly
Media Days. So now we have to get him. We go back to ACC Media Days.
Because last time they gave him 4 minutes.
We had like 2 questions, and we had to go.
Right. You had all of that. You know the name Dan Radakovich, former athletic director at Clemson at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
He's now the AD at Miami. A story broke over the weekend that he is going to step down sooner rather than later. According to Ross Dellinger, school and Radakovich are finalizing an exit agreement. He may remain on as an advisor. But what they were talking about there is potentially they were going to bring in Brett Yormark's brother as the new athletic director, who is like up high in Rock Nation Sports. So with him being on with Rock Nation Sports, it's more to get in line with the NIL deal and not a true prototypical athletic director. Why are you smirking?
2 reasons. You threw in a Miami story.
Well, it's a major athletic director stepping down. Former jacket.
You tried to sprinkle it with the Georgia Tech connection.
Here we go.
You threw in another Miami story. And then 2, I like the back part of it. That's why I was smiling. That is an interesting approach.
Right.
Where, we talk about how coaches and recruiters, their responsibilities change.
Right.
The responsibilities of an athletic director now changing. If you try to, hand out that responsibility to too many people, you might get lost in the weeds. But if you have a guy at the top who's right there with the NIL conversations, that is an interesting and intriguing hire if that goes down like that.
Yeah, he's a twin brother. It's Michael Yormark. He's the twin brother of the Big 12's conference commissioner, Brett Yormark. He's worked with the Florida Panthers. He'd worked some other places, but he's most recently with Rock Nation. Now, it's not been confirmed. I just find it interesting, to your point, home team, that schools now may be looking for somebody that's more financially backed or NIL backed than traditional athletic director. And I think that's where what were they calling it? The position that was coming in that Michael Lombardi took up
The
at
general
Georgia,
manager.
like the GM position. They're going to run more of the athletic side of things. So it's a fascinating concept. I don't know if it's going to go down. Like I said, Ross Dellinger reported that over the weekend.
Traditional pipeline for ADs, they've learned a certain way.
Right.
They've been assistant ADs.
Right.
They've learned how to do it a certain way, and this is totally foreign. So they're basically having to retrain. You're right. If somebody has a leg up, it makes sense to go ahead and get them in the building and maybe take a dual role where they can get money and the athletic needs served at the same time.
J.D. Piquel, who we use a lot of his sound, does stuff with On3 Sports. He talked about Georgia quarterback Gunnar Stockton.
The what if with Gunnar Stockton is what if he becomes more consistent doing the things you saw against Ole Miss in the regular season, against Tennessee in the regular season, where the offense is just an absolute runaway freight train because of Gunnar Stockton throwing it and running it. The what if with Gunnar Stockton is what if he becomes the reason you consistently take over games? Kind of like how Stetson Bennett in spurts during that 2022 season where Georgia won the SEC championship. What if Gunnar Stockton's in that mode? That's the what if we should be talking about. Not what if he's good enough to be consistent in the offense. It's what if he's good enough to take over games in this offense.
I think you're going to need him to take over games, but they probably won't because the running game is supposed to be so good again this year. Nate Frazier and all those backs they have coming back there, guys that can run the football, big offensive line. Think about it, you started 2 freshmen on the O-line at points last year.
Yeah.
They're now sophomores. They're going to be better. So I don't know that Gunner's ever going to have to take over, but in spurts like you saw against Tennessee and Ole Miss.
It's going to be play calling. It's going to be design. It's going to be scramble drill situations and what you want them to be and what you want them to do. To your point, Johnny, it's like the defense is going to be legit. The offense and the run game are going to be ridiculous. So how much does he actually have to do to make your team look good?
What Georgia quarterback has disappointed or had a bad senior season? When they get to be seniors with Kirby, it's usually a problem.
Right.
See, you know who, Stetson Bennett. See, Carson Beck. Although he didn't make it to a senior.
Some would say he disappointed his last year with interceptions.
He got to the SEC title game and was going to the college football playoff, and they needed him in that Notre Dame game.
Right.
And that would have changed everything had he been there, in my opinion.
I'm just saying the perception that year was he underachieved. Some would say the last year with Jake Fromm, they underachieved.
Right.
They didn't
Fromm
play
was
as well.
when I was
So
thinking
maybe Fromm, but other than that, Stetson Bennett, Carson Beck, and now Gunnar Stockton going into his final year, they all are developed. And if he does have to take over, we've seen him make plays early in his career where he's helped to win games. Now, if he has to take over, I think you should be comfortable that he can do that.
Yeah, final story, University of Nebraska on Friday approved a $600 million overhaul of Memorial Stadium that'll make the 103-year-old venue more fan-friendly and increase revenue potential for the athletic department. The project will be funded by a mix of $250 million in philanthropic support, $350 million in private bond financing. Completion is targeted for the start of the 2028 season. Look, they are the most dormant program that used to be just dominant. Like we joke about Florida and Florida State being down. Nebraska was national title contenders every year for like the first 30 years of my life. The last 20 years, they don't exist.
That's not good. That's interesting.
But they still get 90,000+ every single game.
Are people showing up that many?
Every game.
That's amazing.
Every single game. Wow. It's crazy. And that's the RPO.
Hey, guys,
10
don't
minutes
forget.
on the dot.
Not a boy. Nice work.
Solid.
Daily Braves ticket giveaways happening between 7:45 and 8. You got to be tuned in and listening. Not sure what time I'll do it, but we're going to get a question out there for you to get a chance to win a pair of Braves versus Red Sox tickets May 16th.
Oh,
you actually get to manage the Red Sox if you want.
That's right.
Chris Sale
fired
gets to beat up on his old team. Said he was trash. He was yesterday's news. No good. Bum arm. We can't trust him. They just fired Alex Cora over the weekend, and now maybe Chris Sale gets a chance to punish his old team and show him how to do things when you don't give up on people.
Alex Cora from
the U.
That's a fair one.
I didn't know that.
That
That's
one I
fair.
did to mess with.
That is fair. NFL draft goes down. Fernando Mendoza, #1 overall pick, and Carson Beck, the first pick off the board in the 3rd round. Here's Mike LaFleur talking about, you know what, maybe Carson Beck won't be on the bench and maybe gets a chance to start as an NFL quarterback this year.
We just want Carson to get here, learn his teammates, learn the locker room, figure out where his locker is, find a place to live out here, and so we're just going to take it one day at a time. You got 2 guys that you just mentioned, Jacoby and Gardner, who played a lot of football. So we got a long ways to go before we even have to have those discussions.
Look, prototypical size, what you look for in a quarterback, a kid that played 6 years in college, has a ton of starts, had a ton of important starts, and he's going to a place that has no quarterback. Jacoby Brissett's a stopgap. They got rid of Kyler Murray in the offseason. Give the kid a chance.
The criticism, sometimes aloof, interceptions, maybe the pick that doesn't win the game. Those are the knocks on Carson Beck.
I think he's beyond the aloof part of it. I think that was a lot to do with social media and the girls and girlfriend, I should say.
Got to pick the right woman for you.
At times, he did look aloof on those stupid videos, but I haven't seen any of those out this last year.
No.
He was focused, dialed in, got his team to a championship game, and did a phenomenal job. So when I was doing my mock drafts, number one, Georgia fans out there told me Zachariah Branch wouldn't be there in the third round. Got him. And then the other one was Carson Beck. When he started showing up in the fourth and fifth rounds of my drafts, I literally considered picking him up just based off of our ridiculous quarterback
My question, what
situation right now.
happened? 2 years ago, he's projected to be in the first round.
Right.
He then goes on to be in an SEC championship game. Next year, he goes to the college football playoff championship game, and now he's a third round pick.
I mean,
he showed you more.
Well, it's the
I don't know.
interceptions.
I mean,
He threw too many interceptions over the last 2 years.
big time, like game-ending type, game-sealing type interceptions, unfortunately.
Championship game.
Yeah. So, but he's not a dynamic football player, but he's what you want in a quarterback that can be a backup in the NFL for a decade, or maybe get an opportunity to start somewhere and have some success.
Fernando Mendoza getting into the microphone as he'll be donning the silver and black with the Raiders. And he talks about what his plan is to get right in, be a leader, and connect with his teammates.
I think it's familiarity, and especially as a rookie, nothing's given. And my belief is that everything is earned. So I'm becoming humble, try to establish myself as, with my work ethic and lead by example. By the end of the day, it's all great saying these words, but I got to do it. And so I'm looking forward to connecting with them. I'm just excited to learn from them as well and care about them as people.
He's got Ashton Genty. He's got
Brock
Brock Bowers. He comes into a situation where he's not playing with a bunch of slappies. He's got a good chance maybe to turn things around quickly out there in Las Vegas.
He probably won't start day one.
No, I wouldn't.
Kirk Cousins will be the starter for at least 3 or 4 weeks till they're 0-4. Then his shoulder starts hurting. He starts crying about something. And then you go to Mendoza. Then you tell Kirk Cousins, sit over there with your uniform on.
Is it the end of the road for Aaron Rodgers as Drew Aller is drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers? You already got Will Howard on there bench, and then old man Mason Rudolph. So you have a veteran quarterback. Is it time to tell him, thanks for the memories, go and get?
You got rid of your coach and brought in a new coach. You're not winning with Drew Aller. Drew Aller couldn't win at Penn State. He's a third-string quarterback in the NFL. That's who he is. All right, could you win with Will Howard? Maybe, but are you going to put your franchise with a new quarterback on a 6th-round draft choice? Aaron Rodgers is coming back. He's just got to go to a tent somewhere.
All right, you're saying they have to wait on him. They have to wait. All right, coming up are the Atlanta Braves ending the National League East race before the summer starts. We'll get to that when we return here in the locker room on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM.
Stay entertained.
Let's talk about the new way to buy a car in 2026. Tell me how you can save clients thousands of dollars in this.
Hey, if y'all
25 model Honda Pilot, fully loaded with only 16,000 miles on it. Jeff, answer Los's question about that one.
It was actually shocking. I mean, you hear the advertisements, you want to believe it, and then when you go through with the sale, and there's no extras, there's no dock fees, there's no storage fees, no transportation fees. The price I was given was the price that I paid plus their honest fee. I did save thousands of dollars, and it was a very quick sale.
Well, we appreciate that.
And did it for my living.
Get a free alignment and a free oil change. Check them out online, tirediscounters.com/Braves to claim your coupon today. They win 2-3 over the Phillies. They have still yet to lose a series, 6-2 the final yesterday. Congrats to Chris Sale. Picks up win number 150 in his career. 6 innings, no run, 9 strikeouts. Braves are off today. They'll play the Tigers. Coming up tomorrow, yesterday, Raptors, Spurs, Celtics, Rockets all win their playoff series. It'll be Hawks, Knicks tomorrow coming up at 8 o'clock. The Falcons over the weekend took Avion Terrell and Zachariah Branch with their first 2 picks. We are home of the Braves, the Fan 680, 93.7 FM.
Golf tournament here at Atlanta Athletic Club. It brings his teammates, legendary athletes, musicians, and actors for a day of golf where it benefits the Warrior Alliance, Georgia-based nonprofit dedicated to supporting service members, veterans, and families. Michael Harris returned Friday. He had the MRI leg injury situation. He ends up pinch hitting and ended up driving in a run at his first at bat. And then you have the milestone win for Chris Sale, and then the bats. The Braves scored at least 5 runs in every game. They put up 16 runs this weekend.
Right.
So whether it's Chris Sale pitching, whether it's the guy who needs run support, whether it's the 6th starter or sometimes our 7th starter, the Braves offense is just absolutely lighting every pitching staff up.
Yep, they're doing that. They're ambushing teams, and when it's 6-0 at the bottom of the 2nd inning, that game's over. It's a wrap.
All right, coming up, what is on deck as the Tigers are up next, but we need to revel in what worked well against the Phillies. We'll do that when we return on Atlanta Braves Today.
Atlanta Braves Today.
Attention Braves fans, we have a major announcement. Tire Discounters is back as the tire retailer partner of the Braves. Here's their snazzy jingle.
Sorry to interrupt, but all of us at Tire Discounters are really excited because if the Braves hit a home run, we're giving all the fans a great deal. Cash off on select tires and free alignment. And a free oil change. Okay, roll it. See store for details.
Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. It includes a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, plus 24/7 roadside assistance. That's peace of mind from Hyundai. And these days, that's priceless.
Lease a Hyundai Tucson for $239 a month, or get 0% APR for 60 months, or $3,000 bonus cash. Hyundai is a proud partner of the Atlanta Braves. Call 813-867-0006 for complete offer details.
Tidal Wave Auto Spa is the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves and your go-to car wash destination all season long.
Is it Bear today?
Visit Tidal Wave Auto Spa.
Yes.
To find a location nearest you.
Atlanta Braves Today on your.
He's on the line now.
For Braves Baseball.
680 The Fan, 93.7 FM, live on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Welcome back into Atlanta Braves Today. The Braves returned home for their homestand. They take 2 out of 3 from the Philadelphia Phillies, and now they have a 10.5 game lead over Philadelphia. The bat's still working. Everybody a part of it. Is there one bat that is more intriguing than another? We'll get to that conversation now with our truest Braves reporter, Barrett Salee.
Now for the latest on the Braves, we turn to the Fans team of truest reporters.
The hits just keep coming. Literally, Barrett, as the Braves, they power themselves and hit their way into another series victory. Lose on Saturday, but they still put up 5 runs, 16 runs over the weekend. And now, without a doubt, this is the most potent team in baseball right now, as they are the first franchise to 20 wins.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's like a complete 180 from last year. And watching Michael do what he's done, but also Ozzie, and then now Ronald very quietly put together a little bit of an on-base streak. So, the bats are really from top to bottom just way more impressive than I thought, with the exception of Austin Riley. So to see that combined with what the pitching staff has done, not just the starting staff, but also the bullpen, save for Saturday, it's as complete of a team as we see in Major League Baseball right now.
Isn't it crazy, night and day from last year to this year? Just how it started, where we're at now, the vibe around the team. I mean, I was talking to Austin Riley a minute ago. He's like, Braves walked last year. They were 0-7 and to get their first home game. They haven't won a game. They said they probably would have put paper bags on their heads and hide from the fans because they were just playing so poorly. Talk about like the vibe and the feel kind of in the locker room, what you feel after games and sound you hear.
Yeah, Austin has said that to us too, and Bryce Elder the same thing. It's different because they come in expecting to win. It's the same mindset they had in 2023.
Yeah.
If things go south for them, there's no panic. They know, I think, who they are and what they're capable of, and they find a way to get it done. As opposed to last year, where it almost felt like they got deflated. Anytime something bad happened, anytime something bad happened. It. And then the best no deals, I think we saw this past weekend with Aaron Nola. Sometimes the best deals are the ones you don't make. And remember, Braves fans, some of them anyway, wanted Aaron Nola, and look where he is now. So, man, you got to see a lot of Alex Anthopoulos' highlights yesterday when those two went to the mound together.
You got Michael Harris, the second, leading the team in batting average. Matt Olson with RBI and home runs, and Drake Baldwin in on base percentage and in hits. I mean, this there's nowhere for you to go if you get yourself in trouble with this lineup right now.
No, there's not. And, even toward the bottom, with Dom Smith or Mauricio Dubon, there's nowhere. There's no break. And again, that's kind of like 2023. We're not going to go out there and hit, 11 billion home runs. That's just not reasonable. But, there's no break, even at the bottom. And, I think if Yaz gets hot, then that's a little bit of a different story. But if Eli White's that guy at the bottom of the lineup, that's perfectly fine, especially since he can run. So, yeah, it's wild to see the difference in this. And I think part of it is because of the versatility these guys have position-wise, the diversity they have position-wise. They can do a lot of different things. And so you can mix and match on any given day to try to get the most favorable matchups at the plate, because a lot of these guys can play multiple positions. Like we saw Mauricio Dubon play left field against a righty yesterday. Usually Yaz gets those starts against righties in left field. You saw Dubon out there. That might be a sign of what could be coming when Hassan Ken comes back.
Interesting stuff. Day off today. What do you do with your time as the Braves don't play till tomorrow evening?
Well, I'm going to go to the gym.
Okay.
I'm thinking about going to play some golf.
Nice.
And I bruised my ribs. I'm not sure how that's going to work with golf.
How does an
but,
announcer bruise a rib?
Yeah, I fell off a cabinet.
Excuse me?
How did that happen?
I was fixing a ring motion detector in the corner of my house, and it did not go well.
That's hilarious. Are you on a ladder or you're standing on a cabinet?
Standing on the cabinet, and then I hit the side. I hit the table, and ribs and bicep because they were kind of together, and
that's brutal, dude.
Injured ribs are no joke. I mean, it's bad.
No step ladder in your house? What's the problem?
I couldn't get to the ring motion detector with the step ladder the way it was.
You use a chair?
Situated.
Right, well,
they probably should have done that.
You know what?
Oh my God.
You know what? Now
Oh
that
my
I think
God.
about it, this is probably fairly fitting, considering that you jinxed our center fielder last week when you told us he was the best. Took to Twitter and said we got the best center fielder in the world. 3 minutes later, Michael Harris out of the game with what was it, a hammy or quad tightness?
Leg injury.
Do you take any responsibility for that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I take responsibility. Right. I do. I mean, they see me in the clubhouse. They are like they might not ask me what's wrong with me, but they know something's up. So yeah, it's my fault.
Well, listen, now you're hurt, so now it's even.
But Michael didn't use the force to make me fall off the table or off the counter.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe he did. He does everything else well.
That's right. That's right.
Well, you were feeling good. He was feeling better. It was good to see him come out and pinch hit and drive in a run as soon as he was able to get back in the lineup. So nothing but good vibes right now. And hopefully this continues. Day off today, and now get a chance for the Detroit Tigers to come in, and we look forward to talking to you in the morning, Barrett.
All right, y'all. See ya.
Barrett's Elite.
Yeah, you got it.
Our truest Braves reporter will see if we have a winner of our Braves ticket giveaway, and we'll hit you up for the next series with the Tigers as we return on Atlanta Braves Today.
This is Atlanta Braves Today.
Welcome to our world of sound and vision. Herd Global is a proud partner of the Atlanta Braves, an official audiovisual.
Set with the Detroit Tigers. It will be Martin Perez, the phenom, J.R. Ritchie in game 2, and Bryce Elder going in game 3. That game 2 might be the one a lot of people go to. J.R. Ritchie versus Tarek Skubal.
Ooh.
Your scheduled starters to pitch on Wednesday inside of Truist Park. So you certainly have to be jacked up about that. And the day off might not be bad for anybody but the opponents because the Braves just keep rolling along. This is just absolutely amazing watching this offense do what it does. They keep just putting guys on base, the runners in scoring position. not as bad as it was to start the season. And now they are punishing teams when they get to any part of the order or any part of the game. We do have a winner.
Yeah, we do. From Lawrenceville. We got from the L over on our side of town. It is Dwayne Adams. Dwayne Adams, congratulations. He knew that 150 was the mark for Chris Sale yesterday, 150 wins.
Nice job.
He picked up the win. He was tapping the app. He was listening. He listened all day long. You got to listen while you work. I've heard that.
Yeah, you need to listen while you work. You need to tap the app, and you need to be listening because Austin Riley is about to join us here in the locker room, and that will do it for Atlanta Braves today.
Thanks for listening to Atlanta Braves Today. Make sure you join the locker room every weekday morning for exclusive news and insight you can only get from the flagship. This is the home of the Braves.
WCNN, North Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station. 680 The Fan, 93.7 FM, live on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Starting your day with the biggest lineup in the South. Home team Brandon Leak.
The men's NCAA Final Four returning to Atlanta in 2021.
31.
Yeah, not 21. That'd be bad. We'd have to get the DeLorean to go back to 21.
Plus capacitor would have to be working.
John Michaels.
Like Oregon has slid down my pole. Oh, you're going to hear that again.
And Brian Finneran.
Ice Ice Baby. Vanilla Ice. 1990 this sucker came out.
Will it ever stop?
And I go to the extreme. I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up the stage like a chalk like a candle.
This is the locker room.
The doors to the locker room, they are open here on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM. We are broadcasting live from the 4th annual Austin Riley Charity Golf Tournament at Atlanta Athletic Club, not Atlanta National, where I was at 5:45
You had a tough start to the morning, buddy.
That's all right. Breakfast is coming for you boys in the morning. We are here.
Home team went to the wrong joint.
It's bad when the guard shack says radio station. Ooh. Oh, boy.
Excuse me?
I'll be there in 20 minutes. That's where I was. Tournament benefiting the Warrior Alliance and helping to bring great support to service members. They've raised over $500,000 over the last 4 years. We get a chance to talk to Austin Riley, go over the draft as the Atlanta Falcons go into the draft with 5 picks and end up with 6 players coming out. We also get a chance to hear from our new player as Avion Terrell, brother of A.J. Terrell, was drafted by the Atlanta Falcons at 48. Now you're going to have a brother combo in your secondary. We'll hear from Avion Terrell and from his coach, Kevin Stefanski. Hawks now in a fight as they fell Saturday to the Knicks, 114-98. Now they need to get things back in order. It'd be great to go into McCollum Square Garden tomorrow night and get a win and put a lot of pressure on the Knicks. But if you don't win, you're fighting for your playoff lives in the final home game this round for the Hawks. So a lot going on here as we come through the weekend. Oh, yeah. And the Braves, they put the Phillies 10.5 games back in the NL East.
Yeah.
That too.
They did. That did happen as well. You think baseball players watch the NFL draft?
Probably
no.
tough because they're playing on
Right.
Thursdays and Fridays. Probably tough for them to lock. You know, if you have a favorite team like us, probably looking at the phone and seeing where you were for your team. But no, I don't think baseball players have the luxury to do that because, you know, they always got a bat, ball, and, you know, a pitcher.
I
in
don't know
their
how
face.
interested they are anyway. You know,
They all have a team.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to imagine a lot of them are Falcon fans. Bijan's been at games, Drake London. They're probably like, all right, we want to see who the Falcons are playing. They look on their phone. I doubt if they're locked in on Thursday when their game's over. Hey, let's get in the clubhouse and see who gets chosen at pick 28.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt if they're doing that.
Right. No, I got you.
Well, we'll get a chance now to see what the new look Falcons look as Ian Cunningham has his first draft. We get to our headlines brought to you by Scana Energy, the official natural gas provider of the Atlanta Falcons. The new Falcons arrive. You get 6 picks, as in the 4th round, Ian Cunningham decided to trade back. You end up with Avion Terrell, a cornerback, wide receiver Zachariah Branch out of Georgia, your wide receiver, Kendall Daniels. You get yourself a linebacker, 2 6th-round picks in Ontario Thompson. You get Harold Perkins, which is a very interesting pick when you look at the scouting report on him. And then you get an offensive tackle in the 7th round. So it all comes together for the Falcons as they get 6 new birds coming in. And this guy, he is now a veteran of his own golf tournament. He has joined us every single time. He has allowed us to come out and be a part. We're glad to be here again as Austin Riley joins us here in the locker room on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM. Austin, thank you for your time this morning here in the locker room.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm not a veteran yet, though. Still got some good years left.
Do we need to do better? We don't do a great job of going to the clubhouse. So we come in at 6 and we're done at 10, meeting after it's 10:30. When you guys are in the clubhouse, it's in that 4-ish range. Do we need to do a better job of showing up in the clubhouse to be face-to-face with you when we have to ask questions moving forward? Do you respect that more?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay,
Just see face. I like seeing faces.
Okay.
No, y'all do a good job, so no complaints here.
Well, you do a great job 4 years in a row here at your celebrity golf tournament. And I always say, it's one thing to have one. It's great to have two. But once you get through two and people look forward to it and keep showing up, that is a testament to what has been done and what you are doing too. How does that make you feel?
It's awesome. I mean, it really is, and just to be able to have a team that helps put this together, and players that come out every year, ex-players, celebrities. I mean, it's just it's truly a blessing. It's been way, it's kind of exceeded my expectations of what what I envisioned, and to like I said, to have guys come out on off days and support our veterans. Like I said, that's what this whole day is about, is our veterans, our military, bringing light to them. And so it's been great. It's been crazy.
Really neat. The tournament benefits the Warrior Alliance, support service members, veterans, and their families, and all things they got going on. My son just became a Marine
that's awesome.
in October and graduated from boot camp at Parris Island and stationed out in Monterey now. So we appreciate all you guys do for our military. How's the season gone so far? I mean, I'm a 180 from last year in the start, man. It's got to feel good.
No, it's been a complete 180. We're off to a really good start. Guys are swinging the bat well. We're pitching great. Bullpen's been unbelievable. We got a really good group. Like as far as like just the vibe in the clubhouse and the group is like, we're seeing. I think what you're seeing is like, we're not ever out of games, and we're having those late inning comebacks when we need to, getting the big hits. We just don't seem like we're ever out of it, and I think that's what you really didn't see last year. And just like I said, just being able to obviously the injuries happen, but it's an unbelievable start. You got a good group. Walt's been great to play for. So, couldn't have asked for a better start in April.
We kind of joke during the NFL preseason, we don't learn much of anything. Guys don't play, they'll do anything. Did you guys feel this vibe in spring training that this team was going to be as tight and as close and really as clutch as they have been?
I really, I think so. Just because, like I said, since day one, with Walt and our new coaches and just the vibe that we had, like the energy was there. Guys were excited to come to the yard every day in spring. We were a lot of bouncing around and we were getting after it. And so I think that's what you're seeing kind of carrying over into season is it seems like it's a different guy every day coming up with a big hit or, an unbelievable play in the field. And like I said, our bullpen is nasty. Right. Our starting pitching has been really good, and we got, guys coming that aren't far off from coming back. So in a really good spot.
Braves third baseman Austin Riley joining us here in the locker room, hosting his 4th annual charity golf tournament, benefiting the Warrior Alliance, the Georgia-based nonprofit dedicated to supporting our service members. What is it about Walt Weiss? I'm just telling you as, a fan, I just like his straightforwardness. When he came out and said, we want to attack starting pitchers, we're trying to get to them by the 5th inning. To me, that's an explanation that lets us know, you guys know, and let the opponents know, what is it like to have that style of manager right off the bat, the way you guys are performing?
I think it's you want to play for a manager like that, to know that he's trying to win every night and he's going to do whatever it takes to do that, and players feed off of that. Not to mention that he tackled one of the biggest guys in the league.
What was that scene like in the conversation like in the clubhouse afterwards, dude?
It was good. told the guys, I don't know if y'all saw, I got sniped. I went down trying to protect my guys. I was like, we need to have another one so I can redeem myself.
He's a better game film on that one.
Yeah, for real. No, like I said, Walt's unbelievable. You want him in your corner, and like I said, it's nothing but good things.
So I was going to say, in the clubhouse, there's no back talk to him now. If he says something, it goes.
No, it goes. And like I said, the open line of communication is there. Very straightforward. He's going to be honest with you. Like I said, from a player standpoint, the communication, you love to see that. It's like, obviously, me trying to still get it going. It's like, he was up front about, moving me down to 6 and I'm 100% okay with that. But like that, he gave me a phone call and let me know. It's stuff like that. Like from a player standpoint, you appreciate that.
And he's admitted to mistakes, in the post-game pressers. I mean, not that many because you don't even have double-digit losses yet. But when he made a move and it didn't work out, he explained why. And I think everybody, if the fans can feel like you as players have to feel like this is what we're doing. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we can ride on the decision.
Yeah, no doubt. And like I said, just the open line of communication and just it's there. It's there. It's about as simple and as clean as it can be.
So obviously not the start for yourself that you want. You want to get heated up a little bit. So talk about what that means and how you kind of get to where we're used to seeing you.
I think it just comes down to it's kind of been. It's been a little weird because, like I said, the strikeouts aren't there. It's like the walks are up a little bit. It's like, I'm putting the ball in play. It's just not hard contact, and I think that's just a contact point. It kind of talked a little bit about earlier. It's like, obviously I had a good spring. It's like amped up about how I did. It's like now trying to dial it back. Now it's trying to find that happy. I think trying to find just a happy medium of it. Because like I said, it's like I'm making contact, swinging the balls in the zone. So like I said, I think it's just a matter of time, and it's going to show up, and I can join the boys.
10-3 right now against the NL East. How important is that? I know you can't win the division in April, but you sure as heck can lose it in April, and you guys have done a great job kind of putting teams in your rearview mirror.
I think it. Just coming out. Putting the pressure on, like you said, you can't win it in April, but as I said, you can try to build momentum and make that gap as big as you possibly can. And the Philly and the Mets, I think they are good teams, and they're gonna get it going at some point. But like I said, if you can build that gap early on, and then we can continue to play good baseball. Like I said, we're getting some pitchers back with Strider, and we're going to get Murphy back at some point. Going to get Kim back at some point. It's like, we can I think we can, be even better, down the road. And so like I said, you can build that gap as much as possible. It's just going to put you in a better spot.
Pitchers love it when they have run support. What's it like from the other side when you're seeing with the pitching staff and the bullpen?
Yeah.
What does that do when you guys, are putting up runs and the bullpen is just coming in and it's 1, 2, 3 lights out?
Yeah, no, I mean, you feel like if you can get a couple runs and get to the 7th inning, it's we feel like we got a really good chance at winning. And I know there's a lot of talk early on about our starting pitching, but I think they've done an unbelievable job of Bryce has thrown the ball well. Chris Sale, I've always said he's Chris Sale. He's unbelievable. So it's like, we're just, I think you're putting yourself in a really good spot right now. And from like I said, from an offensive standpoint, it's like, get a couple runs and you feel like you got a chance.
All right, let's talk about what everybody really wants to talk about, the hair. What happened with the hair? Now, during COVID, I couldn't get to the barbershop, so I was going to go Jackson 5 fro, and the wife stopped it. At what point did it start to let it just grow, and when it just decide, you know what, I'm going to keep this look for as long as I can?
Up until spring, I hadn't had a haircut since September. So when the injury happened, or August, and I was like, man, back-to-back years with injuries, I was like, I got to change something up, mojo, something. And I was like, I'm just going to let it grow and see what happens, and it stuck. I need it to start working in my favor a little bit, but we're winning, so that's all that matters. So I'm gonna let it keep riding.
I'm just idea guy. Some of them are crazy. I think the Braves should just sell hats with your hair coming out the back of it.
Flow.
There you go. We have a whole bunch of folks inside of Truist Park looking like Austin Riley. There we go.
Speaking of hats, Realtree and you have had a good relationship for quite some time, and I just noticed, is this a new kind of logo you got going on? Or has that been there from
the
AR?
color.
All of it.
Oh no, yeah, the AR
It's been around.
last couple years,
Okay.
2 years. And then obviously, I have a great relationship with Realtree, Tyler and Bill. They've been unbelievable. That's more so. It kind of started off as me fanboying over them.
Right.
And
Get some
then
free hunting gear.
Well, I grew up watching Realtree and Tyler, and then he's an unbelievable guy, and we become really good friends, and it kind of went from there, and they've obviously been a huge part of the golf tournament and the support. So yeah, they've been great to
He's Austin Riley. It's the 4th annual charity golf tournament, and I just walked outside and walked back in, and I saw one of the boards that were up, and I don't know if I've ever seen as many sponsors with your tournament in my life. I mean, there's got to be 50 different companies out there. It says a lot about you and what you're doing with this project.
that like I said, just trying to shed light on our military and our veterans and how much they, especially in today's world, I think they get put on the back burner a little bit, and they're the reason we get to play baseball and our freedom and get to come out here and play unbelievable golf courses, and so and also to my team, they do an unbelievable job of putting this together and getting those sponsors, and so shout out to everyone for making this happen, and it's like I said, it's exceeded my expectations by one.
How is the golf game, and how do you think it's going to be today, sir?
Well, we played. We ended up the off day in Philly. We played Mike Trout's new course, which was awesome. Shot a 77, so it's not terrible.
Just fine. Wait. You just said a 77 is not terrible. I might shoot 77 on the front side.
I'd retire if I shot a 77.
Athlete.
Yeah, I hit it pretty good. We'll see how today goes. So we'll. I'm playing with a couple of the sponsors, so just out there having a good time and hopefully hit some straight.
Right. Well, we thank you for your time.
Yeah,
we always
appreciate
love being out here. It's almost, we love coming out here every single year. Thank you for having us. And what you're doing is a great deal, and people really are impacted and appreciate it. So we thank you for your time talking about this, about the Braves, and you get the bat going, and everybody will be just fine, and you will too. So we thank you for your time
I appreciate,
in the locker room today.
No, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, y'all do a great job. So thanks for having me.
Austin Riley joining us here in the locker room on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM. All right, what do the new Falcons sound like? You'll hear next here in the locker room on the Fan 680, 93.7 FM.
The 8 o'clock power hour.
Northside.
By Central Heating and Air.
Fans here.
Do that first.
not just a patient. You are a person with a story, and they are here for every chapter of it. From your first screening to treatment and beyond, Northside, they surround you with a team that truly cares about patients, patient navigators, specialists, and support every step of the way, Finn.
No doubt about it. They know cancer brings a bunch of questions and not a lot of answers, especially about cost and insurance. That's why they take the time to explain, guide, and support everything that they do for their patients with the more than 65 imaging and care locations across Metro Atlanta and Georgia. Help is never far away.
Yeah, and as Georgia's largest cancer network, they have the expertise to treat every type of cancer right here, close to home, where you need it.
Compassion meets innovation. Community meets world-class care. Learn more at northside.com/cancer.
Northside Hospital Cancer Institute, built to beat cancer.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler at Chain Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality.
I have a must-win game. Good morning. I'm John Michaels. Your update brought to you by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Today's going to be a clean-in and car wash celebration day at Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Stop by any Tidal Wave location and get half off their unlimited wash membership for the first month. That's TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information. Braves get a nice win yesterday over the Phillies. Final was 6-2. They win 2 out of 3. Chris Sale picks up his 150th career victory, going 6 shutout innings with 9 strikeouts. They have an off day, which is why we're here with Austin Riley. They'll play the Tigers coming up tomorrow. Hawks Knicks tomorrow night as well. Pivotal game 5. That series tied at 2 games apiece. Falcons, first couple of picks on the board were Avion Terrell and Zachariah Branch. Haynes King signing with the Panthers. That makes me sick, home team.
Ouch.
We're your home of the Braves, the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM.
Welcome back in to the locker room on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM. Home team Brandon Leak. Brian Finneran, John Michaels. We are broadcasting live from Atlanta Athletic Club, part of the 4th annual Austin Riley Charity Golf Tournament, as he will have Braves teammates, legendary athletes, musicians, actors to help benefit the Warrior Alliance, dedicated to supporting service members. We're going to get to talk to a very important person here. I want you to understand what's going on.
VIP.
The MC, the master of ceremonies, is important when you have events like that. And we're going to get a chance to talk to the MC of this event. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by the fine folks that we love to talk about, Central Heating and Air. We'll get a chance to see what is going on with the Atlanta Falcons and their draft picks as well, as we got a chance to get a brother, as Avion Terrell, the brother of A.J. Terrell, going to be roaming and patrolling the secondary with his brother. So a fantastic moment for their family, brothers who grew up lovingly, and now they get a chance not just to be NFL players together, but teammates together for the first time in their lives.
Yeah, it's crazy to think at a position of need. I was just talking to Arch off the air. He was kind of going through it. He was like, he's going to pay attention to Lee Hunter because that was a dude he had written down. And again, we talked about guys in the second round we're going to compare Avion Terrell to. D'Angelo Pons is a big one because you're talking about a guy that played outside at Indiana, started in the national championship game, made impact plays everywhere. If he's better than Avion Terrell, we make that comparison. But I think Terrell's going to be really good for what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I get to play with his brother. I got to do that in high school and college as well, which is really neat. Brad and I both played the same position, and there's little things and nuances you kind of feel off each other. Like I would catch a pass, and Brad would see like which way I was going to break and come and kind of make a block or pick somebody off. And these two guys can play on the same side. One could be in the slot, and AJ would be outside, or opposite sides. It would be really cool this season when it starts to see two Terrells out there.
Do you fuss with your brother differently? Like if he missed a pick or said a sorry screen, do you take care of him differently than maybe somebody else on the team?
Yeah, I think so. You're not going to hurt his feelings or aggravate him too much, and you can say more to your sibling than you can other guys. So, yeah, you can talk to him a certain way.
All right. Well, you guys are winners. And Avion Terrell is a winner. A.J. Terrell's a winner. And so we'll see if they can help us win with the Falcons. All right. We'll talk to another winner. She's one of our own. This woman won Survivor 49. All right. She wasn't just on the show. She's the champion. She won the show.
She's the Ric Flair of Survivor.
Woo.
Soul Survivor.
She is a former broadcast journalist. And marketing specialist. She is a woman who is now transitioning from TV and anchoring to now other endeavors. She is Savannah Louie, who is the MC of Austin Riley's charity event here in the locker room on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM. Good morning, Savannah.
Dude, that was one hell of an intro.
Folks get on me, get right to it. Get right to it. Nobody wants to. You should honor and let people know who is being a part of the show. Thank you for joining us here
Thank
today.
you for having me, especially also calling me a VIP. I feel like after Austin Riley was on here, I'm a little I'm trying to live up to the expectation here now.
Now, how do you get to Austin Riley's event? You go and you want to be a broadcast journalism major. Your parents are happy for you and you end up on Survivor. What are your parents thinking after you go to school to give the news and you are out in the wilderness in Survivor?
Dude, I'm going to be very real with you. I wish I could say I left the news all on my own accord. I wish I could say it was my entire decision. It wasn't, though. I'll be honest. And so when my contract didn't get renewed, I thought, what's the next number one thing I want to do? And it's, hey, I want to play Survivor. I want to do this crazy game. And more importantly, I want to try to earn $1 million in 26 days of work. So that's exactly what I did.
That's amazing.
So how do you end up on that show? Because I was cast for a reality show. And
What
I told
show?
Them, we're not going to talk about that.
Bachelor?
I love New York.
You brought it up.
No.
I swear.
Oh my God.
I was supposed to be on the show. I told them no. I just didn't want to do it. How do you get cast for Survivor? Do they come to you? Do you do an audition tape?
Dude, the first time I applied for the show, I was 17 years old. I'm in my 30s now. So we've been trying to make this happen.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's the kind of thing where you take out your phone, 3-minute selfie style video, not fancy. And you just really tell your story. Who are you? Why would you be on the show? Why would you be good on the show? What makes you a compelling character? And then hope that the producers see something in you.
Did you have an athletic background? What did you do growing up?
Yeah, so I was a competitive swimmer.
Okay.
So, I mean,
do you think that helped you in your cause and winning it?
100%. Yeah. And I mean, I've always also like worked out, but when you're doing a competitive sport, it builds this mindset in you from a very early age where you have to go the distance. You have to be working your butt off. You don't necessarily have off days. Even your off days, quote unquote, like you're resting for your next competition, your next practice. You're always dedicating yourself 110%. That's the root of survivor.
What was the toughest? Did you finish up covered in mud? Is that what I see a video of this? And what was the toughest part for you? And maybe what you thought was going to be tough wasn't as tough as you thought?
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. And I feel kind of lame admitting this, but you know, the toughest part for me in the game was probably about halfway through, where you feel like you're at the bottom of your tribe and like no one wants to work with you. And when you're out there on the island, I know that sounds kind of like, oh, like no one wants to work with you, like get over it. Like I'm pretty tough mentally, but it brings you back to maybe another situation in life where maybe you're a kid and you feel left out. Maybe you're in the workplace and you feel like no one in your workplace wants to have anything to do with you. And it's this weird simulation, this weird, you know, environment on this island that can bring you back to a really tough place emotionally that you've been before.
That was going through your mind when you're out there?
100%. Yeah. I mean, if you watch the show, like you see, like I have an emotional breakdown on camera, very vulnerable. Especially working as a journalist before, like I'm assuming none of you guys would ever assume that you would be crying on camera and being so vulnerable like that.
That's not true. Bury me in mud, you might see some tears.
Let my team lose, you might see some tears. Oh, yeah.
Savannah Louie joining us here in the locker room. She's the MC for Austin Riley's 4th annual charity event benefiting the Warrior Alliance, and also winner of Survivor 49 here in the locker room on the Fan. When you're not on Survivor and you're now doing other endeavors, how do you plan out your schedule when you get a chance to have a lot of leeway? When you're working for TV, it's a regimented setup, but now that you have a lot of freedom, how do you set up your schedule?
Dude, I'm still trying to figure it out because I have a problem where I want to say yes to every single thing. And I know it probably doesn't sound like a problem to some people out there, but
it is. You got to learn how to say no.
Yeah, you overcommit and then you burn out, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of in the place right now where I'm trying to prioritize, like, what do I want to do? Where do I ultimately want to be, like in a year from now, 5 years from now? And then everything I have the opportunity to do, I have to say, hey, does this align with my vision for myself in the next 5 years, right?
No doubt. What is do you have any foundation you're working with or stuff you're working on or message to young women out there that may want to go do something like you did?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest, this is so funny. When I went to go play Survivor, I thought, I'm doing this for myself, right? I'm going to earn $1 million so I can set myself up. But one of the best things to come out of doing this show has been hearing from parents, from moms who have reached out to me and said, hey, Savannah, I have a little girl. She's 10 years old. She's 7 years old. She watches you and she is so inspired by you. She sees how confident you are. She tries to channel that same confidence whenever she's at soccer practice, things like that. Hearing from parents who are able to show their kids a woman who is strong and bold and aggressive when it comes to gameplay like that, I love being able to be that person, and it's been the most rewarding thing.
What's the first thing? You win the show.
Yeah.
So then what's the next move? Do you run a credit card for the yacht off the island? What is your next move to now go into the next phase of your life, as your life has clearly been changed?
I wish I had a sexy answer. I really do. I invested a lot of it. I invested most of it. Yeah, I know.
Smart move.
Yeah, it's not fun though. I had a little bit of fun too. I mean, I think like whenever you're doing something, like you want to honor your hard work. Right. And so I think like the most materialistic thing I did was I bought myself a nice watch, and I wear this watch every day. And whenever I put it on, I make it intentional. And I think to myself, when I put on this watch, it's a reminder that I can do anything and that hard work is always going to pay off.
And what'd you do career-wise? Once you win, how do you know what to do?
Yeah, so this is interesting because I have some things in the works that I know. I don't know that I can say. I know.
Podcast. Don't you run out of here, go on a podcast, and give them the nugget.
I'm really excited.
Oh, God.
And
All right.
You're going to be the first person I call. You got to give me your cell phone after this.
I have no problem. Everybody his number. I have no problem. You're talking to the right guy. Savannah Louie joining us here, one of our own from Atlanta. She is the MC for Austin Riley's charity event. We're at Atlanta Athletic Club, and she's also winner of Survivor 49.
What advice do you give somebody that goes on a show like that? How do you prepare? How do you train? How do you get ready for that? Or is there no way to get ready for it?
Are you asking me because you're trying to take some personal
I'm
notes?
51. There's no chance. I can't survive out there for 10 minutes.
No. Okay, here's what I tell everybody. I really do, because I believe it too. You are capable of so much more than you think you are. Your body can do so much more than you think it is capable of. And so when I meet people, I'm just like, first of all, you got to be yourself, right? Like, don't try to put on a facade. Don't try to be fake and phony and over the top funny. Producers don't want to see that, because when you're on the island, you're being filmed 24/7.
Right.
You're not going to be Mr. Jokey Jokester,
Sure.
gimmicky guy the whole time, right? You have to be authentic. So that's what I tell people. And then secondly, and I think most importantly, is you can truly do anything. I know you're over there looking pretty confident that you're
I could pull off a Survivor victory. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you I would have won it. But we used to talk about like doing Amazing Race,
Right.
Survivor. You like to think you would compete. I
Yeah.
think I do okay.
Well, here's the thing. When I went on the show, I was just like you. And I remember saying, like, this is going to be the easiest million I will ever make. And I believed it in my heart. And I'll be real, I don't think anyone else out there believed it like I did. And so it's that confidence. Like, if you really think you can do it,
Interesting.
I believe in you too.
Well, we thank you for your time. You're clearly talented, a lot of fun and spunky, and hopefully you'll be out here next year. You'll be locked in forever, because Austin Riley's a really great guy, and this is a really great tournament that does great deeds for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's an honor to be part of it, seriously. And hearing about Austin and his passion for helping veterans too, it's inspiring, and super proud to have him here in the Atlanta area.
Well, we thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you down the road, and we want the nugget first. We don't want to see it or hear it on a podcast.
You give me your phone number.
Come
I
back
got
and
you.
break it on,
Coming right
on
now.
the locker room.
Here
Yeah.
it comes. Here she comes. Savannah Louie joining us here in the locker room. All right, coming up, we'll get a chance to move the chains as the Falcons get new guys. We'll get new commentary about the new guys and who won the draft. We'll get to that when we return here in the locker room on the Fan, 680, 93.7 FM.
Tomorrow
Top dressing.
comes alive as the Detroit Tigers
All
take
right.
on the Braves in an interleague matchup.
Swung on and hit with massive force. Deep to left field. It's a tie game on a 2-run homer by Ronald Acuna.
Matt Chuck and Domino lead off with
It's problems. You got a shady spot messing with your grass, roots jacking it up, bare patches in your yard. Topdressing.com is the answer to all your yard's problems. Check them out today at topdressing.com or give them a call for that free quote. 888-850-1850. One more time. 888-850-1850.
Express yourself with the car you want from Jim Ellis. Hey everybody, Buck Ballou here for Jim Ellis Automotive Group. Your vehicle is more than transportation, right? It's a reflection of who you are. And when you're ready to express yourself, it helps to have choices. Jim Ellis Automotive, proud to be Georgia's largest family-owned automotive group, offering more than 5,000 new certified pre-owned and pre-owned vehicles. See them all at jimellis.com. Whether your style says luxury, performance, or rugged capability, they have the perfect vehicle that fits you. With the Jim Ellis Expressway, you can shop the way that fits your lifestyle, too. It's the quick, easy, and convenient way to buy a car. Find the vehicle that helps you express yourself. Visit any of their 21 convenient locations across Metro Atlanta, or just shop from your home at jimellis.com. Jim Ellis Automotive. We always expect the best.
A fiduciary has the regulatory obligation to put your best interest first. Trajan Wealth is a financial fiduciary for your investments. With Trajan Wealth, the more you make, the more we make. Our interests are aligned. Most other financial advisors are brokers held to a lesser standard and are paid an upfront commission to sell you something. Call Trajan Wealth today. 678-888-3300. That's 678-888-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Welcome Georgia Tech's first-year men's head basketball coach Scott Cross for his inaugural year at the helm. Season tickets are now on sale. Angles in to the left, up and under with the reverse is good. Save your seat in the Thriller Dome to watch Scott Cross and the Yellow Jackets next season. A spin, digs the shoulder in, banks it and scores, and a foul. Two-hand dunk by the freshman, and it's a 1-point game. Guarantee your seats by going to RamblingWreck.com/tickets. Sting 'em.
Make a statement that lasts with a new door from Entry Point Doors and Windows. From bold iron and classic wood to energy smart fiberglass and double doors. Go to entrypointatlanta.com to get a free estimate today.
Spring has arrived, and at Hoover Volkswagen of Lithia Springs, savings are in full bloom. Right now, you can take up to $14,000 off new Volkswagens, or qualified buyers can choose 0% financing for 60 months. There's never been a better time to upgrade into the Volkswagen SUV you've been dreaming about. The Atlas gives your family the space to spread out for every spring getaway. The Tiguan brings sleek style.
Got the handlebar thing going.
He's not playing around.
Yeah, he's got an True Hollywood story being filmed on him as he walks around.
There you go. That's a big deal when you have your own cameraman following you around. Kind of like we do sometimes here as Andrew Groover and Justin Burney do a great job as they try to make sure that we get a lot of the video info out. A lot of people watching today on our video stream. Make sure you YouTube listeners and watchers, you continue to do so. And you can tap the app as well. Don't forget, you can always listen while you work with 680 The Fan. So once you get to work, you just tap the app and continue to stream throughout the course of the day. Now, a lot went on over the weekend. The NFL draft came and went, and the Atlanta Falcons ushered in a new era, the first draft class for Ian Cunningham, plus some other conversations about quarterbacks and the future of some older quarterbacks in the league as Brian Finneran gives a chance to move the chains.
There's no one more reliable in a big game situation.
Oh, my knee, my calf, my foot, my brain.
Brian Finneran is moving the chains.
My segment.
Presented by Georgia Pack and Load. Move the smart way. Move the Pack and Load way. Call 1-800-800-MOVE or online at gapackandload.com.
All right, the NFL draft came and went, and it was entertaining. Are you not entertained? Did you enjoy it?
I was entertained.
I got a chance to see Michael Turner get up on the podium and announce a couple draft picks for the Atlanta Falcons in the second and third rounds, and did a great job. A couple other characters across the NFL also had an opportunity to get up on the main stage and make it happen as well. Mark Ingram, the Baltimore Ravens. When I tell you trolling the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh, he was not playing around. Listen to Mark Ingram trolling the Steelers.
Don't worry, because on behalf of me, my son, these wonderful young ladies, and all of Flock Nation, we got a special message for y'all, Pittsburgh. Steelers still suck! Yeah! And we about that. You got a problem with that, come see me. Big trust, Flock Nation, in the flesh.
Elite trolling in Pittsburgh, PA, no doubt.
No doubt about it.
That's awesome.
That was classic, dude. It's so funny. He was fired up. Pat McAfee, he never misses a chance to pump himself up and get him making a statement on the stage. And here he was, talk about Sauce Gardner and all kinds of stuff going on with the Indianapolis Colts.
The Indianapolis Colts' first-round draft pick was Sauce Gardner, and he's better than all of your first-round picks for sure. The Indianapolis Colts have not won the AFC South in 12 years. That changes this year. Jim Irsay from the football heavens cured Daniel Jones's torn Achilles. Michael Pittman got sent to the Steelers, and in return, we got football gods. With the 53rd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the AFC South Kings, Indianapolis Colts select C.J. Allen, linebacker from Georgia. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
That's how you cut a promo.
Yeah, that's what happens when you work in the WWE.
Yeah,
you know how to cut a promo.
That's a promo.
It's unbelievable. So C.J. Allen gets to go to Indianapolis, where they've had some success drafting linebackers the last, decade or so.
I had a chance to cover C.J. Allen and Kyle Eifert at an event. They were having a camp early before the season last year. Just impressive. Good with the media, leader, good football player. All the ingredients that go into what you want when a new guy comes to your team.
The fact that the Falcons drafted a couple linebackers later in the draft,
right?
Does that? I mean, if this guy turns out to be what people think he really could be, which is a 3-down linebacker,
yeah,
really good for a decade. Do we miss out on?
He was there. He was there when you took Avion Terrell.
But you needed a corner too.
You did.
I know.
We'll be watching all of them.
The thing is, this will be a litmus test because Ian Cunningham said he picks best player available. So we'll see who turns out to be the best player, C.J. Allen or Avion Terrell.
Mike LaFleur thought that the best player available at the top of the 3rd round was Carson Beck. What does he like so much about drafting the Miami and Georgia quarterback?
Got a guy, we can all see the physical skill set. He looks the part in terms of the size, being over 6'4". He's a natural thrower. I think he's tough back there in the pocket. The two things that really stuck out to me, though, he is one. He's, I want to say, 37-6 as a starter. We all know what he did this last year, taking Miami all the way to the national championship. But he's been through some stuff too. He's had some adversity throughout his career. It hasn't just been some smooth sail. And so I think he's been through the ringer a little bit, which will harden him, for this next level.
There you go. So goes to the Arizona Cardinals. Was it the first pick of the 3rd?
Yep, first pick of the 3rd round.
So congrats to Carson Beck and his family, and should be a lot of fun to see what he can do. He has a chance to play there if he's up for it. Sean McVay, interesting stuff happened. They chose the 13th overall pick, where the Falcons should have been picking when the trade happened last year.
He made a Falcon move.
They certainly did. The LA Rams selected my man
Ty Simpson.
Ty Simpson out of Alabama. Very surprising. It almost looked like it surprised Sean McVay. And there was just his body language, his interview afterwards. The whole thing was very weird. He was asked about why he looked so angry.
Well, there was some other things I was grumpy about that, you just navigate normally. But I think the main thing, Kyle, was you just wanted to make sure that I would have been stoic by nature anyways, just based on the respect for Matthew, because it's a unique situation. You get a chance to be able to, take a player that you like at a really important position, but you don't want it to be minimized or misunderstood in terms of what this means in terms of our investment and our commitment to Matthew for as long as he wants to continue to play. And so you're kind of teetering that line. And clearly, I came off a little grumpier than normal.
He did. It looked very weird. Like he lost a bet or missed out, didn't get They picked a guy that's not going to play. It was the exact very
It's the
similar
same thing,
situation.
and we did it first, but they're working on a contract extension for Matthew Stafford. So it's the same thing the Falcons did. You drafted the future while you still have the present here, and you're going to pay him gobs of money.
And what do you think Matthew Stafford would like to have on his football team?
Wide receiver?
Weapons, defensive end,
offensive lineman,
any of those
tight
things.
end.
And now the guy that they took at 13 overall has zero impact on your football team.
Did
Zero.
you see the clip where Ty Simpson said he hadn't talked to Matthew Stafford yet, but he had spoken by text to his wife? So that
what?
Yeah.
Some came out. So.
Yeah, she texted me, "Hey, welcome to the family. Hey, what about your husband? What does he think?" Goodness.
Who knows? And then finally, what do I have down here? Mendoza 01. Let's do that one, please, where he talks about
it's an industry term.
his awareness and who he knows about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I was blessed. This morning and last night, I was able to get a text from a couple of guys like Max Crosby, Tyler Linderbaum, Colton Miller, and Kirk Cousins. And I'm sure there's been more. I'm looking forward to reaching out to all my new teammates and most of those guys. It's been a whirlwind in the past couple of hours. But Kirk sent me a really nice text. I'm looking forward to working with him, learning anything I can from him, and just a great, not only teammates that I'm able to learn from, but also the great coaches.
Did he rattle off 4 white guys from the team? Is that what that was?
He just did. It was quarterback. It was a quarterback-centered conversation.
I mean, Linderbaum, Max Crosby.
White.
Max Crosby goes after quarterback.
You say Brock Bowers, too?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just joking. All right, that's moving the chains.
That is moving the chains. We'll get a chance to see if we can corral more stars. We're going to effort Terrell Davis and effort Marcus Allen. That's what we're going to do around here at Austin Riley's tournament. Just go up and ask them. All they can do is say no. That's all they can do is say no. So we're going to see if we can talk to a dog and maybe a Hall of Famer as well. Coming up, there is a guy. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but he is the most talented guy in what he does. We'll get to that when we return here in the locker room on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM.
Tomorrow night, Truist Park comes alive as the Detroit Tigers take on the Braves in an interleague matchup.
Hey, Road Dogg.
Hit with massive force. Deep.
Yeah.
We broke on time. My plan was to do OTP after Frenchie. If we come back, what time are we coming back? 55?
5:15, only on the Fan. And streaming free on the 680 The Fan app.
56?
From house hunting to around 55.
You want to slide it in before you want to just wait till after we're done with it? Because we really only have one story now.
Dependable customer service, great options, made things really
easy.
easy.
We do the Georgia radio story, and then Kenny Smith.
For a limited time.
If you guys want to throw it in, we can.
Yeah, then we can clear the books. And that way, if we get a guest, another guest or two, we'll have a nice open window.
All right.
Racetrack knows ATL moves fast. You can
I
feel
wonder
it,
if he saw it
especially
coming.
on Braves game days. So make a stop that counts. All beef hot dogs, Swirl World frozen yogurt with endless toppings, a freeze blast to cool off. All your faves whenever you need them. The Braves bring the energy. Racetrack keeps it going. Racetrack, proud hometown partner of the Atlanta Braves.
Oh boy, Scott Howard's quote: "It was not my decision." Nope. Oh boy.
Yeah, they pushed him out.
Out here, your word still matters.
I
And at
mean, he's the
Loganville
voice
Ford,
of the
that's how we do
dogs.
business. We're family owned, right here in the community, serving folks the same way we'd serve our own kin. No fast talk, no funny business. Just honest deals, dependable vehicles, and people who will look you in the eye and shake your hand. If you're looking for a dealership that still believes in doing right by folks, you'll find it at Loganville Ford. Deals are a lot better in the country with Loganville Ford.
You got a new freeze. You got a new freeze, yeah.
The Eagles present
The
The Long Goodbye, Act 3, live in concert in Atlanta.
Yeah. He can dance a little.
Tedeschi
Last
Trust Band.
I saw him on the stage with T.I. I said, "Oh, you can do
Truist Park, May 5th. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The Eagles, The Long Goodbye, Act 3.
We talked
For
about
more,
it.
visit eagles.com.
No, well, Finn,
Hey there,
Finn
it's
said
Brian
no.
Fenner.
Mike
With
Clark
school
was
coming
good.
to a close, I
Soldier
want to
Boy
remind
was
parents
good.
that it's important to remember
And
the
Pastor
pressures
Troy.
our kids face.
He did. We did
It's
talk about
crucial to keep communication open. Let your kids know it's okay.
I'm with you
to
100%.
not
Bulldogs.
Nailed it.
This is WCNN North Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station. 680 The Fan, 93.7 FM, live on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app. Here's the latest from the Krause Auto Group Sports Desk.
Choose the auto group that shows up for Atlanta. KrauseAutoGroup.com.
Well, how about the Braves just keep winning series? Good morning. I'm John Michaels. Your update brought to you by Tire Discounters, where their round trip or home run promotion will save you money on sets of tires over the weekend. The Braves hit a couple of home runs yesterday. That means today only. You could stop by Tire Discounters to get a coupon for $100 off a set of Goodyear or Cooper tires. Plus, you're going to get a free alignment and oil change at Tire Discounters. Go to tirediscounters.com/Braves to learn more. Braves win 2 of 3 over the Phillies. They shut them down yesterday. 6-2 was the final. Chris Sale picking up win number 150 in his career. Braves are going to have an off day today. They'll play tomorrow against the Tigers. If you miss Austin Riley, it's up on the 680 The Fan app. Hawks Knicks tomorrow night as well. That's going to be an 8 o'clock tip. Falcons picked up Avion Terrell and Zachariah Branch in the 2nd and 3rd round of the NFL draft. We're your home of the Braves, Fan 680, 93.7 FM.
3-1 to Olsen. And he lets it fly high and deep to right field. Chop house bound, 3-0 Braves. Man, he put some hate into that swing, and this crowd loves it. And the Braves jump on Nola with a 3-run homer by Matt Olson, his 8th of the year.
Matt Olson hitting the baseball. Michael Harris II hitting the baseball. Drake Baldwin hitting the baseball. Big Stick Dom hitting the baseball. Who is it hitting the baseball? Braves win 6-2 in the series finale over the Phillies, and they now have a 10.5 game lead over the guys from the city of brotherly love.
Just saw a text from our digital guru, Andrew Groover. Hall of Famer, former dog, Terrell Davis, will join us at 9:10.
There we go, TD. There we go.
I got to get a picture with TD. That's one of my mom's favorite players.
Tough cookie, man. Super Bowl champion. What they did in Denver, and
without him, they don't win the Super Bowl.
Without
John
a doubt.
Elway, as great as he was, without Terrell Davis, they don't go back-to-back.
Career cut short, probably could have had more yardage without a doubt, if not due to the injury. But Terrell Davis will be joining us here in the locker room. Now, Brian Finneran has another wedding that will be taking place in his household. So does another celebrity here in town. And we're having a big switch up for a broadcast team that people have listened to for a long time as we go OTP.
Let's go OTP. It's outside the perimeter. Ready to redo your closet, garage, or add that custom golf locker? Artisan Custom Closets does it all. Visit us online at artisancustomclosets.com today.
So, if you were watching the NBA coverage over the weekend, you saw Jalen Rose was in for one night for Kenny Smith, who was missing. And then he got a chance to come back and reveal where he was. His baby girl got married, and the North Carolina and NBA star got emotional walking his baby girl down the aisle.
Kenny back after a momentous Saturday.
My baby's married.
Oh,
that was game day.
Look how beautiful
That was
she
game
looks.
day, baby. Yesterday was game day. Woo, that was Ernie. That was tough.
I know. I called you yesterday just to say, hey, we're thinking about you. So, and I tried to prepare you a little bit because I've done this twice with the 2 daughters.
It's emotional. I did not think it would be as emotional. I felt like I was in a movie. It didn't feel like it was real. Did you cry? Oh, I teared up. I'm not gonna lie.
He's
He's laughing at me now because I'm still emotional about it. But Rel, he's a great guy. I tell you.
Was getting a little bit emotional. Shaq threw him a roll of paper towels.
Look, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll tell you, when it comes to your kids, there are certain moments, graduations, weddings, special birthdays. If you don't get emotional, I'm not sure you're human.
There's going to be some emotion about this. There's been a shakeup with the University of Georgia broadcast team for the football radio coverage. For years, it was Scott Howard and Eric Zier, and then last year was Scott Howard and Josh Brock, and now University of Georgia over the weekend announced a new lineup as Jeff Dantzler and John Stinchcomb will be the new broadcast booth team. Dantzler will be the play-by-play man. John Stinchcomb will be color analyst, and DJ Shockley will remain on the broadcast team. And so Scott Howard, who had been there for 18 years, called both of the natties for the Georgia Bulldogs, will find himself in another role, but not calling football after 18 seasons.
Interesting. His tweet that came out over the weekend, it did not feel like it was his decision. Yeah. I believe he's staying on to do basketball, but will not be part of the football broadcast. And I'll tell you, part of the fabric of college football is your play-by-play guy and your color guy. Yeah. People grew up listening to Larry Munson forever. People love Wes Durham for all the time that he was on the Georgia Tech broadcast. Andy Demetra now obviously is your home of the Jackets. People love Andy and Andrew Gardner, who do a fantastic job. That becomes part of the fabric. You think about a lot of times people go to tailgates. They put on their pregame show. They're listening to their play-by-play guys and their color guy getting things ready. So for Georgia, going to be a change. I saw mixed reaction all over the internet all over the weekend.
I mean, he's been the voice of the Dogs for, a generation. And now, he still will be a play-by-play man for the basketball team. So still some great calls to come for Scott Howard. But congratulations to Jeff Dantzler and John Stinchcomb, now the new voices of football for the Dogs. And that is OTP. We'll get a chance to talk to our baseball man, Jeff Francoeur, will join us in at 9:10. The former Dog and Super Bowl champion Terrell Davis will be joining us as part of Austin Riley's 4th annual celebrity golf tournament to benefit monies for the Warrior Foundation. So we got a lot going on here. I got a chance to see, I think, the most talented artist right now on the planet. Fell into some Bruno Mars tickets last
So you won those last night. I saw an email.
Won the Bruno Mars lottery.
You beat out Harper.
No, I didn't beat him. I joined him apparently about 3:15.
You beat out Jamal.
3:15, 3:18 yesterday. An email comes and says 2 pairs of Bruno Mars tickets at Georgia Tech have become available. Scott McFarland, one of our leaders, said he was going to do the fair thing and just pull names randomly.
Okay.
He wanted to see who was interested. There were 3 names interested. Myself, along with Matt Chernoff and Brandon Harper, who I did not beat. Harper could not make it. Therefore, I was able to go.
Okay.
And that's a win. That's a
so
win
Harper actually won.
He did.
But couldn't go.
Well, then it was between us 3, and Scott gave us the opportunity. How do you guys want to sort this out? Harper couldn't make it. So due to him not being able to go, I was able to get the tickets.
Now, how awesome
Why
was
is
that?
he putting his name in the hat if he can't even go to begin with?
Was he
Sounds fishy to me right
Was
there.
he trying to StubHub us?
I think he just grabs everything that becomes free.
You think?
And a lot of things he can't use. Nobody else bid on him anyway, but this was a pretty big deal. I'm telling you.
And I haven't seen it. Does his proxy Jamal still work for us? So I haven't seen. Okay, so we had Jamal as well. Jamal used to be the other one. Quick draw Jamal would be in getting all the tickets.
This man, Bruno Mars, is a combination of Sammy Davis Jr., Michael Jackson, Bobby Brown. When he gets together with Silk Sonic and Anderson .Paak, is a combination of the Temptations, of the New Kids on the Block, Backstreet Boys, New Edition. It is an unbelievable show. Singing, dancing, choreography, playing the guitar, playing to the women. Unbelievable scene in Georgia Tech on a clear night last night in Midtown. A great place and venue for a concert. So I got the dub. Husbands for the win. I'm always for husbands for the win. Husband got a win taking the wife to the Bruno Mars concert. So we'll see what next Brandon Harper will not be able to get. Now, we get a chance to see what this guy is going to think about this weekend, as the Phillies are 10.5 games behind the Braves. The bats remain hot. Chris Sale reaches another milestone, and he's happy about it, as we get to our man, our baseball man we talk to every week, Jeff Francoeur.
He's a hometown kid who became a major league star. It's the Jeff Francoeur Show, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa, the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves. Frenchie is only on the Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM.
And we're joined, as we are every single Monday, by Jeff Francoeur for the Jeff Francoeur Show. Frenchie, do you have any musical talents? Did your parents sign you up for piano, for drums, for saxophone, for xylophone, kazoo, anything that you played as a kid growing up?
Man, I'm awful. I can't sing. I can't play the piano. I can't do any of that.
What about your kids?
It's bad. My youngest daughter, 7-year-old's doing piano.
All right.
Best story I got was, so we're on a boat to Alcatraz, and when I was with the Phillies, and it was me and Katie and Ryan Howard and his lovely wife, Crystal, and we're sitting there, and I was telling Ryan, like, man, my fears, like, I don't want my son to be in the high school band. I don't. I want him to play football. I was like, he can be in a band at home, right? He can do any of this stuff he wants. And Ryan looks at me dead serious and goes, dude, I played the tuba. And I kid you not, he was in his high school band. And you know Ryan Howard, I mean, dude, he's 6'5", 250. And I'm like, shit, he's going to throw me in the ocean right here, you know? And I was like, talking about sticking your foot in your mouth. And I'm like, sorry, Rhino. So he still gives me crap every time I see him about it.
We're going to have to call the Cobb County Fire Department to put out the fire on the bats of the Braves. I mean, they scored 16 runs, 5 runs at least in every one of the games. In the game they lost, they lose 8-5. So you still have to score 6 or more right now to beat the Atlanta Braves. I mean, we haven't seen anything like this in a while, and it just begs the question, how much better can this be?
I'll tell you what, man, you sit here and you look, you know, and I was in Boston last week on Tuesday with Alex Cora, and, you know, we didn't know he was going to get fired, but he's sitting there and he was talking. He said, you know, so funny because there's kind of the Dodgers, right, and then everybody else, but he was so complimentary of the Braves and said, you know, they just have some matchups that can give them some trouble if you really look at it. And so I thought that was a huge compliment. You know, I think this team can score, and that's the thing. When you play the Dodgers, right, you're going to have to score. And, you know, up and down the lineup right now, the way Michael – we always talk about when Michael's going opposite field, man, it is so pretty to see him let the ball travel. And now you look at it, you have Drake Baldwin, Matt Olson, and Michael Harrison. It's like, sure, throw a lefty. We don't care. They can hit lefties just as well. So, you know, man, it has been so fun to watch this team, and every night, you know, the excitement they're bringing right now.
Frenchie, we just had a chance to talk to Austin Riley, and he even mentioned, like, it's different. There's a different energy, and he said a lot of it permeates from Walt Weiss. Can you feel a tangible difference between Walt and Snit? And this is not to bang on Snit, because I think Snit did an unbelievable job with this franchise, but it does feel a little different right now.
It does. And look, a new voice, a new leader, it's never a bad thing, you know? And I sit there, I thought it was such a great weekend to honor Snit because it's like the team's doing great. And Snit helped set this up, right? Like Snit helped bring this thing together, him and Alex, with having Walt. And I'm so glad that Walt got the opportunity because you can see how hard these guys are playing for Walt. And so, again, it's just a good thing. You know, look, Walt is similar to Snit in certain things, and he's different in certain things. And that different just sometimes can be a good thing, and it can refresh the clubhouse. And so I think that's what you're seeing. And I think it's no different than when, you know, Snit took over, right? Like there was a new kind of era, and guys played a little different. They got motivated differently. And I think that's what, to Austin's point, and right, because it's so hard to say it in a certain way, but I don't think it's a bad thing because it was, you know, Snit did an unbelievable job and then passed it over to Walt. And Walt's just bringing a little different energy. I know this. Snit wouldn't have tackled Jorge Soler. I know that.
He would have broke his hip. What are you talking about?
Snit would have been in the L.A. County General or whatever that hospital is out there if he did that.
Speaking of that, Snit goes into the Braves Hall of Fame over the weekend, and that's always great. I am a big proponent when somebody sits down and they are done, honor them then. Don't wait 5, 10, 15 years. Get it to them right now. With Snit still fresh in the minds of the fan bases, this was a good weekend for him to come home and get a chance to see that.
Well, and it was so funny because Snit said, he's like, you know, it's funny. God's got a funny sense of humor. I hated rain delays more than anything. And he's like, so what does he give me a rain delay on the night I'm going in? You know, and shoot, y'all know we haven't got rain delay in what, 5 weeks? Like,
right.
Good Lord. And
I think since the 80s.
But yeah, right. But it was a great weekend. And I couldn't agree more, man. Don't wait 2-3 years. Honor this man, what he's done. And it was a special moment. I know how great it was. Obviously a father-son combo is really close, but the fact that Troy got rained out up in New York and was able to jump on a flight and get home to be there that night with his dad. I went down after the game and had a drink with them, and Troy was still there, and and then he got to fly home yesterday, and they lost 3-1 and 3-0 to the Rockies. So I'm sure he's really glad he got home for a day.
Too funny. As a former MLB player and athlete yourself, and football player for that matter, at Big Parkview, how much did you pay attention to the NFL draft and specifically our Falcons?
Man, a lot, because I feel like, you look at our division and we're not far off. And I heard y'all talking this morning. I took my daughter earlier this morning. It was weird not having a first round pick, because we watched the first, 5-6 picks or so with my son, and then he had to go to bed. But just that anticipation, waiting for your team, and we didn't get that.
Right.
So that was kind of weird. I was happy. I've been able to get to know Gary Downs a lot through All Pro Dads and different stuff. And to see Caleb get drafted, that kid is a stud. And so I was so happy to see him with his family there. There's so many cool stories in the draft, and, to see that. And then, of course, the McVay, that was priceless, man. I mean, he couldn't even hide it. That's the best part.
Jeff Francoeur joining us for the Jeff Francoeur Show, as he does every Monday here in the locker room on the Fan. Once again, Chris Sale goes out, and it's franchises have to do what they have to do. People will, we've been talking about what happened with Freddie, what happened with Max Fried, and watching it and living it here is one thing. Same thing for the Boston Red Sox, where they thought it was the end of the line for Chris Sale, and it is not. It's not even anywhere close near the end of the line, where this guy has been the most dominant pitcher that you could possibly pick up when somebody says there's nothing left in his arm.
Well, and it's so funny, right? Because we got younger kids getting hurt doing this, and here's Sale at 37, 38 years old, just continuing to go out. And then, so big the first couple innings to get those runs, because, and y'all know this from the other side, right? If you're the Phillies and all of a sudden it's 6-0 and you're facing Sale, and you're like, you know what? Let's get this game and get the heck out of Atlanta, right? Like, let's get on the plane. And Sale just continues to pound the zone, man. He gets 9 strikeouts, 1 hit, and it's just so much fun to watch. And, it's one of those things that really is getting to the point, like when it's his turn, you believe there's no way we're going to lose this ball game. And, right now, again, this team is still, the fact that we haven't lost a series is incredible.
Amazing.
Frenchie, I want to ask you something. 150 is a huge number in today's day and age. It used to be 300 was kind of the benchmark for Hall of Famers. We're never going to see that again. Do you think there's a number now that becomes kind of the baseline for a pitcher to get in as far as wins? Because Sale feels like a Hall of Famer, but 150 wins doesn't feel like it meets that normal benchmark.
No, you're right, and that's going to be the thing. I think that they'll have to set a precedent, right? Figuring out what that benchmark is. I do know this. We were talking about that night. If Chris keeps going and gets 3,000 strikeouts, then I don't think any of that's going to matter,
right?
And so it's so different because of that. And the sad thing for Chris is, if he didn't have those injuries in Boston, he'd already be at 3,000 strikeouts. Right. And so, but I think, guys, and for him, it's going to be great because, if he can finish another couple years doing what he's doing, people tend to remember that late kind of time in your career. And so I think for Chris, he's trending that way. And, if he continues to just do what he's doing, man, you're right. It's not probably going to be a first ballot,
right?
But I think it's going to be tough to keep him out at some point.
And it has been just phenomenal. He almost feels like Greg Maddux. When Greg Maddux used to be, we're winning that one. That's what it feels like when Chris Sale goes out of there, hook a crook, and you give him 5-6 runs. You're terminated.
Yep.
And so it's a really good sign that they are the first to 20 before we even get to May. Don't have double-digit losses, and it doesn't show any signs of this slowing down. So a lot of fun for the Braves and Braves country. We look forward to catching up with you next week, Frenchie.
Finn, what hole you starting on today?
I'm on 10A on Highlands.
Ooh.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep. So excited.
You gonna stripe one with a little draw off 10 or what?
Yeah, power fade. I haven't decided yet which angle I'm going to take.
Why didn't you ask where I was playing?
I have a feeling you two are going to be holding the fort down while Finn's out there trying to drop some birds.
That is not true. I am on
business for a while.
Riverside. I'm on 5 Riverside.
They're desperate for celebrities.
They were.
That's why you have a good eye for sports, Richie. We look forward to catching up with you next week.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
All right, coming up, you will hear from the newest members of the Atlanta Falcons and an old dog, a Hall of Fame dog. Terrell Davis will join us here in the locker room on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM.
Solomon is presented by Dr. Roof. Keep your roof gutters and home exterior.
Chris, did you catch that
healthy with
S-bomb?
Dr. Roof.
Yeah, I got it late, though.
Schedule a free inspection at drroof.com.
Hey, guys. Finn here from my friends at SalmonBrothers.com. Told you congratulations to my son, Keenan. He got engaged over the weekend to his lovely girlfriend and now fiance, Lauren. Got a chance to spend some time with the family and hang out. But what also got some time to do over the last couple months was make a few visits to Salmon Brothers Jewelers and made it happen. So thank you to everybody down there, Jaron and company, to help get Keenan all set up and ready to rock and roll with his ring for his lovely new fiance. SalmonBrothers.com. Check them out today. They do a fantastic job. Customer service is unmatched. You will not beat it, and we've done it. We've seen them multiple times for multiple kids of mine, and you can do the same thing, whether it's a holiday or something special for you and your lovely wife or significant other. Make it happen at SalmonBrothers.com. They do a fantastic job making sure you got everything. 3 different locations you can visit, check out as well. Salmon Brothers Jewelers. Visit them in Buckhead, or you can go in Alpharetta or Sharpsburg as well. Or you can shop online with my friends at SalmonBrothers.com.
Don't get tricked into following Braves baseball on any other station in the South.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Rely on the radio home of the Atlanta Braves for everything you need to know and every game live.
680 The Fan, 93.7 FM, and the Fan app.
Spring has arrived, and at Hoover Volkswagen of Lithia Springs, the savings are in full bloom. Right now, you can take up to $14,000 off new Volkswagens, or qualified buyers can choose 0% financing for 60 months. There's never been a better time to upgrade into the Volkswagen SUV you've been dreaming about. The Atlas gives your family the space to spread out for every spring getaway. The Tiguan brings sleek style and everyday versatility to every drive. And the Taos is the perfect compact SUV for zipping into spring with fun, efficiency, and confidence. Fresh inventory is arriving daily and lasts long. So whether you're planning road trips, weekend adventures, or just ready for something new this season, now's the time to make your move. Go see the ones who get it done. Hoover Volkswagen of Lithia Springs.
With approved credit when financed by Wells Fargo. No down payment required. 1667 for $1,000 finance. VIN number WVGA WVEB 9SH01 4604 with MSRP 62,280. Plus tax, title, license, dealer addendum, and $995 dealer closing fee. See dealer for details. Offer ends 4/30/26.
When you're thinking about your financial future, whether that's retirement, sending the kids to college, or just giving you some peace of mind, you want to work with people that you trust. Well, thanks to Trajan Wealth, this is a wonderful local company that has decades of experience and is family-owned and veteran-led by Jeff Jr. Know this, they're all about community, they're all about family. So when you start planning for your financial future, you want to work with those you trust. Get in touch with Trajan Wealth by calling 404-390-4000 or go online to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
It's that time of the year again. Chuck and the team at Central Heating and Air are bringing back their 6th annual Christmas in July, benefiting Skyland Trail right here in Atlanta. Now through July, when you sign up for a maintenance agreement, Central donates $10 to support mental health treatment and recovery. That's a smart move for you too. Priority service, seasonal tune-ups, and fuel breakdowns when you need your system the most. The more agreements, the bigger the impact. Central services all makes and models. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com today. Carrier warranty, carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air, delivering carrier comfort for the world we share.
This is Kelly Kroll with Peachtree Pest Control.
3-1 on the Sixers, and the Rockets stay alive. They're still down 3-1 to the Lakers. Hawks, Knicks tomorrow coming up at 8 o'clock. We're your home of the Atlanta Braves, broadcasting live here at Austin Riley's Celebrity Golf Tournament here on The Fan.
Welcome back in to the locker room on The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM, your home for Atlanta Braves baseball. Braves with a day off tonight after taking 2 out of 3. Another series in the bank for the Braves. Now the first of 20 wins, and now they take on the Detroit Tigers coming up starting tomorrow. We got a swarm of Jackets.
I'm telling you, we got more Georgia Tech people here right now than we see a lot of times. Wiley Ballard, Chris Cotter, Andrew Gardner, all standing here. We're talking College World Series and potentially going to Omaha. That's the off camera conversation right now. Is Georgia Tech one of the best teams in college baseball?
Yeah, I went to that Georgia Tech game at Truist Park, and boy, the Jackets can light it up. So should be fun for postseason baseball for them.
9 o'clock hours presented by Dr. Roof, trusted and recommended by yours truly. Keep your roof gutters and home exterior healthy with Dr. Roof, Atlanta's roofing expert since 1988. Schedule a free inspection at drroof.com.
Now, are we supposed to be quiet now? Hear bagpipes playing. Is this some kind of
we don't
Scottish?
have a choice. We have to do our job.
I mean, is Roddy Piper coming out? May he rest in peace.
Do we have to lower our voices? I don't know if this is a.
I don't think so.
Okay, it's just a display.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not used to bagpipes.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I heard bagpipes that I can remember.
When was that?
It was when Dr. Spock died on Star Trek, and they played the bagpipes when they shot him out into space for his memorial service. That was the first time I can remember hearing bagpipes. I don't know if you're supposed to have reverence or keep on talking loudly like
nerd.
Well, here's the thing I'll say, home team. There are people still taking putts.
Okay.
There are people warming up, so I think we're okay.
All right.
To continue doing.
I don't want to be
Finn,
disrespectful.
you got my clubs out there?
Got your clubs out.
What are you guys,
Do I
caddy
need to
now?
tip you $10?
I was helping him out. He had to do an update and have some stuff, so I got some steps in this morning. I got in your trunk.
I said it was in the back seat.
Just relax. I got the 2 clubs out of the back seat, and I was thinking to myself, does he need shoes? So I went in the trunk to see if he had golf shoes.
All right.
And then I found what looked like Brody's little tennis shoes in the back of his car.
Hey,
when I tell you the smallest little foot I've ever seen in my life, it can't be a real adult male foot.
Could you get your hand in
It's
it?
unbelievable, dude. It is so crazy how little those things are. How do you even stand upright?
What else did you find in my trunk?
That was some
I'm about to say,
basketball.
do you want to go billing around and you might buy some brass knuckles or something?
No, those are in the side door. So in my trunk right now are not only my little shoes, but some of my players' shoes. There's 2 half-drank cases of water that I carry in.
2 basketballs.
2
and a
basketballs, a couple
bag.
of bags. Yeah, so there's a lot of junk in there. We had an AAU tournament over the weekend.
Classic.
We finished 3rd. Dude, I was telling Chris Cotter, he was asking me how basketball's going. 17U now is turned into all the kids that have suddenly shot from like 6'3" to 6'8". My team is, I start 3 guards that are 5'9". 3. We went against a team yesterday that didn't have a kid smaller than 6'4". To say we didn't win the rebounding battle would be an understatement.
Well, we are efforting Terrell Davis. I don't see him warming up yet, so we're trying to get
I saw
TD.
him. He walked in earlier as I was walking out to go get some stuff out of the car.
Does he still look like he can run for?
He's in good
he
shape, man.
Absolutely can run for 1,000 yards. So he was looking for rental clubs. So maybe he was just taking care
He
of that.
could have borrowed mine. And
No, he doesn't want your crappy clubs, dude. I can promise you that.
the only club I have that's crappy is my 3-wood.
No.
The 3-wood is awful. Maybe my 60 degree.
Well, something that won't be awful. Hopefully, the picks for the Atlanta Falcons, they went into the draft with 5. They come out with 6 picks as a 4th-round trade afforded the Falcons another late-round pick. So they end up with 6 picks coming out of the draft. And, you know, you can't say it's an awful draft when you don't move up or lose any more draft picks. And you fill positions of needs, which is what Ian Cunningham said he wanted to do. So all in all, your first 2 picks, you expected them to be starters in Avion Terrell, brother of A.J. Terrell, the first pick at 48 in the secondary at cornerback. And now Zachariah Branch showing up as your next pick, as he will be part of the offense moving forward.
No doubt about it. You got some nice I think Mel Kiper graded us out at a C+. All
right.
Warren Sharp, who does a great job.
Who does a better job than Mel Kiper?
He does. That's true. He does a great job covering the NFL and draft and all things NFL football. It's at Sharp Football. He put out his best value draft class of this year. Falcons coming at number 9. He also loved what the Commanders and Panthers did at 1 and 2. Buccaneers came in at 7, but the Falcons, a top 10 value draft class. So they hit their mark. They got guys they needed, positions of need and everything else.
Here's Kevin Stefanski. They were on the clock. They were on the board, and so was Avion Terrell. And Kevin Stefanski said, we got him.
Avion's his own man. And to be able to just grade him for who he was and who he is, we're excited to get him. He's tough, competitive, scrappy, plays the ball, plays the game the way that we want our guys to play. So we're just excited to get a player of his caliber at the point of the draft where we got him.
That sounds like Ian Cunningham. That it says Stefanski.
That was Ian Cunningham, yeah. It's weird football because it's kind of a nice story of the family and brothers get to play together. But I'm telling you, in the NFL, especially in the first round, you don't mess around, or second round, that is, and just do stuff for fun.
Right.
You do stuff to help your team win championships and win your division and all the other things. So
especially not as a brand new GM, brand new entire front office, new coach. Hey, let's do a brother story. Now you don't do that. This isn't the movies.
Yep. So we'll keep an eye on what the guys behind him are going to do, because Lee Hunter is one of the guys we talked about.
D'Angelo Pons, CJ Allen.
And those three dudes right there. I don't think you need to say anybody else, because those three guys right there are going to be good football players. And hopefully Avion Terrell is as well.
Well, it was a lot of fun after the first round. Just kind of weird, like you were pointing out, Finn. No first round pick. You had to wait till day 2, which is now on a Friday. See, Thursday, usually there might be a break in some NBA playoff action. It might be a situation where your baseball team is off. So a lot of people are very much in tune and watching to draft that first night. Not to have a first round draft pick, a little bit weird. But we get there day 2 and we get to working on what was going on. Your boy, your teammate, friend of the show, Michael Turner, had the opportunity to be an ambassador for the Atlanta Falcons. And after he selected Avion Terrell with the first pick, he went up to the podium with the second time the Falcons were on the board and introduced the brand new Atlanta Falcon wide receiver.
With the 79th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select, I guess we're going to keep it red and black, Zachariah Branch, wide receiver from Georgia. Rise up, baby.
Rise up, baby. And so here he comes. And so now he's a part of the offense. You have an absolute speedster, not a big guy, but, I mean, if you can play in the SEC, if you can get yards like he did in the SEC, and if you can manage to outrun and outmaneuver guys who are going to try to tear your head off in the SEC, you're prepared for the NFL rigors.
No doubt about it. He's strong. He's put together. He doesn't go down easy. He's one of those players that you can have fun kind of making up a game plan for him and use them to your advantage.
It just gives you another weapon to help with your quarterbacks. You already are going to be one of the best run teams in the NFL because of Bijan Robinson, and throw Brian Robinson in there as well. You've got a big horse on the outside in Drake London. You've got a big-ass tight end right down the seam in Kyle Pitts. What you didn't have is a number 2 receiver who's got some shiftiness. Darnell Mooney's gone. You don't have a ton of speed really on the outside of this team. That all changes now.
Here is Zachariah Branch saying that he was happy to be drafted and happy to be drafted by the Falcons.
Really just the coaches overall. I feel like they allowed me to be myself, and just show my personality and things like that. But when it comes down to, handling business on the field, then, you got to be on that. But I like the balance that they had with it, and they love football. So do I. So I think that's why we clicked a lot.
Better than better than decent offensive line, elite running back, wide receiving core now that is better because of him. Great opportunity for him to come out and really showcase, especially when you have 2 quarterbacks where when you're looking for, maybe a safety outlet, a lot of times it's your tight end. Sometimes it's that wide receiver, Finn, running the underneath routes. And if you get the screen game working, that can help you out as well.
No doubt about it. So the lineup for your offense and wide receiver position, Drake London, Jahan Dotson, Olamide Zaccheaus, followed up by Zachariah Branch, Dylan Drummond, Devin Tompkins.
Yeah.
Casey Washington and Chris Blair. So a bunch of guys.
No offense, that's one of the worst wide receiver groups in the NFL.
Right, well, he cleaned it up.
I didn't take any offense to it, but those guys might.
I mean,
Jesus.
Jahan Dotson had 19 catches. Olamide Zaccheaus is, he's a 3 or 4 at best.
Right.
So you got a lot going on there.
Here was a question that everybody wanted to have answered. Zachariah Branch is the only thing you can do in the NFL. Catch screens.
I think I proved that at the combine and pro day. I can run every single route. I think I showed that for sure. Just being able to show, okay, certain routes I ran pretty much every route. Curls, deep digs, corners, come back, just being able to stop and start on a dime is something that, I pride myself in. And I've been able to run routes, since high school. And I feel like I got a chance to do that at the combine, and at the pro day to show people that I can do everything pretty much.
Yeah. So it's a thing because of the 50% of the routes he ran at Georgia were at or behind the line of scrimmage or even higher than that. So it's a thing. It's going to be talked about. I didn't dive into it, but after he got arrested last week, right?
Right.
Was that even brought up by anybody? Did you hear anything about it? Or
I
read
didn't hear
anything about
anything.
it?
No.
All right. It seemed like a silly, dumb mistake that he made on.
He paid for
cop.
it.
Yeah.
He got what he got. He paid for it. Thank goodness it happened. Not the day before the draft. That would have been, even accelerated as a problem. But it's over with. Looks like it was just a misdemeanor, and whatever happened. And hopefully that's the last time you have a problem. Yeah, I'm thinking he's
got a text from a friend of the show, Big Travis Stroud. He said Branch did 20 reps at 225, so he's strong. He said little is one thing, but fast and strong is different,
100%.
which he is.
No, he's put together. Somebody was talking about him squatting, a small car, and now he's bench pressing 20 times. Just to put it in relative terms, I did it like 13 times my pro day or whatever that was. So that's a little guy that weighs buck 80 and throwing up some serious weight.
Yeah, and so he's a football player. Okay, so he's not large. Neither was Tyreek Hill. Neither was Juice Landry. You can find guys who can be impactful players. I think it's going to be kind of like Oscar Delp, where you did what the system at Georgia asked you to do, but there was still more to give. And so Oscar Delp being drafted hurt me by the New Orleans Saints, as was Christian Miller. That hurt me as well. But I think they're going to get a chance to prove both Oscar Delp and Zachariah Branch that they were more than just the plays that were called in college.
Right. Yeah, you get that opportunity now. And I think Zachariah Branch, one of my favorites to do is that shallow cross. Yeah, that's a play that I don't think the Falcons use enough offensively, and hopefully Kevin Stefanski does. You get guys running down the field, and you have one of those small, fast guys coming across the field. It's an easy 2 or 3 yard throw. You hit them while they're on the move, and then they go make plays.
What do you run? 4.35?
4.3, yeah.
I mean, just ridiculous speed and power and strength. And when you have guys like that, you have different routes you can do, cross the field routes, in and out type routes where guys just clear out. And
whip route.
Whipping in and out of there. So he'll be fine. I'm glad he talked about, showing he can do the entire route tree and everything else that goes into it.
We just got to look from Scotty McFarland. I think we were loud while Austin Riley came up there.
All right, we'll be quiet.
I mean, what do you want us to do?
Let me tell you guys about the 9
Y'all
o'clock
told me to
hour.
keep talking through the bagpipes, and now we're supposed to be quiet for Austin Riley. Y'all not giving me the information.
Well, no, I just got the look from over
I think
there.
I think it's more you than anybody else.
I have no voice. It can't be me.
Hey, listen, the 9 o'clock hour is presented by Dr. Roof.
Hey, get your golf voice.
Keep your roof, gutters, and home exterior healthy with Dr. Roof, Atlanta's roofing expert since 1988. Schedule a free inspection at drroof.com.
And we got a lot of people looking at us, so I think we were a little bit loud. Should we issue an apology?
Their PA is not working. That's why.
Oh, so that's not on us.
So we're too loud.
Yeah.
For the public. So let's do the show in whisper voice.
Or we go to break and let the commercials.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in the ear. Tell you some things that I like to hear.
Where do you see our commercial break? All right, coming up. Coming up, we'll hear that the Hawks make no excuses, and we'll hear from a man who knows not only how to troll, but how to teach his kid how to do it when we return here in the locker room on The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM.
Hey, Chris.
The Fan is
Yeah.
Did you by chance save an
rolling into
update?
our 17th season.
I was recording.
alignment and oil change at Tire Discounters. Go to tirediscounters.com/Braves to learn more. Braves win.
On the Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM, your home for Atlanta Braves baseball. Braves get the 6-2 win over the Phillies. Pretty much blanked them out until they got a meaningless 2-run homer that meant nothing by Kyle Schwarber. And now the Phillies are 10.5 games out of first place. Braves continue to roll, get a day off. And on the off day, a lot of them are here at the 4th annual Austin Riley Celebrity and Golf Tournament that helps benefit the Warrior Alliance.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Fun weekend with a draft going on from Thursday all the way through this weekend.
Saturday, yep.
Yep. And then I had golf in the neighborhood with the Mitsubishi Electric Classic, which we were at, and Retief Goosen took home the first ever Stableford scoring event over there at plus 39.
That's about what I plan on shooting today.
That's exactly right.
Except it won't be Stableford.
Stephen Ames and Jack Johnson and Stuart Sink finished 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And then the Georgia Swarm had an unbelievable beatdown of the Buffalo Bandits in a postseason
like that
do-or-die game,
Yep.
17-10. Home team and I were in the building with my buddy Fitzy and his family, and just an awesome event. So I think Halifax comes to town next weekend. If you guys are interested, GeorgiaSwarm.com.
I'm interested, definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah, we had a good time, man.
Dude, it was 3-1 before you could even get the first sip of beer in. So they weren't messing around up there at Gas South Arena. So we got some new Falcons coming in town. We got the Braves rolling now. We got the Hawks. Hawks did lose 114-98, and there were no excuses made, as we knew that the Knicks were coming in. They were going to try to give the best performance that they could because they were in big trouble. And now trying to right the ship going back to New York, they have to figure out a way, the Hawks do, to get what they got in game 2, which is stick around, and then see if you can execute at the end. Because, look, the Knicks are the bigger and more experienced team, and that's not going to change. So you're going to have to pick your shots. Don't get down, too far by double digits and then steal it at the end.
You can't go 10 for 41 from downtown. Finn and I were going to do the Finn meeting dip and just walk away. Because we got to go play golf, but we're not going to do that. Finn's got a promotional read first.
No doubt. It's the final Saturday for the 4th annual First Horizon Bank Gear Drive, sponsored by Tidal Wave Auto Spa and Georgia Power. The Fan and the 680 Georgia Power Street Team, along with our nonprofit partners Leveling the Playing Field, are collecting new and gently used baseball and softball gear. Join us live Saturday, 9 to noon in Brookhaven with Murphy Candler Baseball in Murphy Candler Park in Brookhaven, where every donation earns you a complimentary Tidal Wave Auto Spa car wash. And finally, thank you to all the players, parents, coaches, and parks that donated, along with our sponsors, First Horizon Bank, Tidal Wave Auto Spa, Georgia Power, for making this year the biggest of the 4 that we've had so far.
Really no excuses. New York came out, took an early lead, put us behind the 8 ball. You had your chance to make the push, and you didn't. They're just bigger bodies. The threes weren't falling like they were in game 3, and so you couldn't make the adjustments to climb back into the game. So you were just chasing your tail the entirety of the game on Saturday night. Here's Quinn Snyder talking about, look, Knicks were just better. They came out, they made their shots. We didn't, and a price had to be paid.
When a team is aggressive, you have to be more sure with the ball. Passes are tougher. You need to get off it sooner. I think as much as anything, no, you can't attack on your own. You have to attack collectively. And I thought when that did happen, we were trying to respond, but we weren't responding collectively. We were responding individually. And, it showed in the stat line.
Really, the first bad game. Really the first bad game. Even when you lost in game 1, it wasn't a bad game. This was just the first game where you just couldn't get it together and you couldn't find any mojo.
Vegas thinks it's a sign of the times and things to come, because that spread in New York tomorrow's New York Knicks by 6.5.
That's the biggest one this series. Oh,
yeah. I think it was 4.5 or 5.5 game one up there. They pulled off game two, and now at home they were going from a 1.5 favorite to maybe a dog by a point or something. So you make it happen, and just get back on track. It was bad shooting night. It was bad everything night, really.
Here's C.J. McCollum. He is keeping a positive outlook after the tough loss in game 4.
Yeah, we would like to go up 3-1, but if you'd told us before the series started, we'd be 2-2 going back to the Garden. Life's not so bad.
And it wasn't so bad. So it was so bad, though. The problem was you just could not get the stops and get the runs that you needed. You could not be that far behind against a team that was desperate. And so a price was paid. So now get a chance tomorrow night in New York City to see how things are going to shake out. We'll see now whether or not we are going to have a game 6 where the Hawks can close out on their home floor, or if it will be a game 6 where it could be the last game of the season for the Hawks, and they'll be forcing to fight for a game 7. So we'll get a chance to see what's going on. Over the weekend, it was, Michael Harris returning on Friday after that leg injury, putting in a pinch hit role, and was able to immediately deliver. Chris Sale coming out on top as he was able to deliver, picking up career win number 150 as the Braves. They beat the Phillies 6-2, and now they find themselves winners of another series. And Chris Sale, win number 150, showing that he still has plenty left in the tank. He still is operating like an ace, and really you're going to have no shot if this guy gets 5 runs of run support like he did, 6 runs coming really quickly, and the next thing you know, he's off to the races. Throw in the bullpen as well. You are not going to have a shot, and now the Braves looking better than good, looking better than elite. They're the best in all of baseball, first to 20 wins. Still, they do not have double-digit losses. And here's Chris Sale on his team showing up for him and bringing the good vibes with him.
And it is a lot of fun. Coming to the ballpark, expecting to win is a lot more fun than the other side of it. We show up, we're having a good time. We're meshing really well. Vibes are high. We're playing well, which is important, but keeping it loose, and even when we lose, we're coming in the next day like, all right, we're going to win this one.
And that's been the mojo and the mindset all year. Really have to credit Walt Weiss for that, as well as he came in, laid down a new culture and a new set of rules and a new set of orders, how he would like to have his games played. He's getting it without a doubt. And now they are finding success. Was a success for Ian Cunningham as he got a chance to sit around and wait. No first day draft pick, so he has to wait for day 2. Really, it was day 3 where he really made his move, where he was able to get a multiple set of players that hopefully will make a difference soon. And we'll see now who will be starting and who will be brought along slowly. Here's Ian Cunningham, Falcons general manager, talking about his process of getting 3 new Falcons on day 3.
There are times where like there's a guy that you're targeting. Sometimes you may want to try to trade up for that guy. I think you've heard us talk about those positional cliffs or best player available, and sometimes you try to make an effort to go up and get some guys. It doesn't work out sometimes, and then sometimes they just fall in your lap, right? So it's case by case, and I think at the end of the draft, you're really just looking for players that are the best fit and the best value at that point.
Outside of the top 2 picks, Falcons get a couple of linebackers, Kendall Daniels out of Oklahoma. They get linebacker Harold Perkins. They also get defensive tackle and an offensive tackle. So, you filled out the roster the way the roster needed to be filled. He also talked about the opportunity maybe to continue a streak we've never had, and maybe it continues moving into the future on drafting UGA players 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I feel like we've shared this a lot, and I'm sure we will continue to. What they've done and what they continue to do at Georgia, they're always going to have really good football players, right? And it's cool that it's right in our backyard. So we're going to continue to build those relationships and foster those relationships there, and look forward to scouting future Bulldogs in the future.
So Zachariah Branch coming into the fold for the Atlanta Falcons, and another successful draft for Kirby Smart and this draft class, as 8 Georgia Bulldogs are selected. Monroe Freeling ends up going to the Carolina Panthers, so the big offensive tackle will be in the NFC South, as will be Christian Miller, big defensive tackle for the Dogs, and tight end Oscar Delp. They now go play for the bad guys, as both Delp and Christian Miller were drafted by the New Orleans Saints. C.J. Allen, a linebacker extraordinaire for the Dogs, was available when Avion Terrell was selected. So we'll see how the career of C.J. Allen turns out as compared to Avion Terrell. Then you look at Zachariah Branch going with the 79th pick. Dalen Everett going to the Steel City with the 85th pick in the 3rd round. And then got a 4th round pick in Colby Young going to the Bengals. And in round 6, it was Mekhi Morris going to the Philadelphia Eagles. They give them another big offensive lineman. Also, part of the story, the guys who were not drafted: long snapper Bo Gardner, punter Brett Thorson, defensive back Ja'Cory Thomas, who's going to be really interesting, a really solid and athletic player for Kirby and the Dogs. Not drafted at all. Wide receivers Dylan Bell. Dylan Bell is one of those guys, certainly, who can make a roster and stick around, I think, for a couple of years, and Noah Thomas. And then Josh McCray from the running back stable, and Cash Jones coming for the Atlanta Falcons. So we're going to see if Cash Jones is going to be one of the guys that becomes a special teams player and one of the favorite players of Brian Finneran for the locker. We might have to get him a Cash Jones t-shirt or Cash Jones jersey. And for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, they give themselves 2 jackets that are going to the NFL. It was good to see Brent Key put 2 big guys into the first round when you got Rutledge going in the first round, and then you get Vandenberg going as the defensive player. So you get 2 big players going. No draft pick selections for Jamal Haynes, and no draft pick selection for Haynes King. Haynes King, though, signing a contract with the Carolina Panthers, and now going to see if he is going to be able to make the roster and be useful, maybe the Swiss Army knife type of production that we have seen the Saints deploy when they have had a talented player. So Haynes King does make it to a roster, but not as a draft pick. And we'll see now what is on deck for the Atlanta Braves. We have a day off. We've been out here. It's been a whole lot of fun. Still trying to see the last few minutes if we can get Terrell Davis to slide by. Some of the golf carts about to take off for the 4th annual Austin Riley charity event. Maybe we can get TD off the air and maybe get a few moments with him if he is so inclined to do so. But the guy's going off, and Austin Riley really doing a great event. He admitted, if you missed the interview, you can tap the 680 The Fan app and go back and listen to the interview. We had him on in the 8 o'clock hour, and he talked about trying to make some adjustments, and he knows that his bat needs to come around, batting 209 right now, but didn't shy away from it. Says he's going to work on some things, and hopefully some things get worked out quickly with his offense coming to the Braves. Now we get a chance to talk to 2 offensive guys, the Icons. They get ready for their version of the show for the ride for the midday show, as Cellini and Domino join us here in the locker room. It was a long weekend with a lot going on. Braves get a 6-2 series capping victory. The Hawks, they lose on Saturday, pretty much handled from start to finish. And the Falcons go in with 5 but come out with 6.
Yeah, it was one of those weekends where you got to take the good with the bad, especially on Saturday. As long as the Braves keep winning series, that's all that matters. And Chris Sale got into some trouble early in that game yesterday, and Bryce Harper gets smoked on a fastball with the bases loaded and a full count. And at that point, Chris, that was your shot. That was your shot to stay in that game or get into that game trailing 6-0. And the Phillies blew their shot. But as we like to say, that's a them problem combined with what the Mets have done. Again, problems that the Braves had last year, they don't have this year.
Well, there's a connect the dots, and one of them would include if Rob Thompson's going to lose his job as early as today. They're on an off day today, and the Mets situation is going to be – but Alex Cora, he can do one of 2 things. He can collect money for a year and a half. I don't think that's his personality. Or he could have a job as early as tonight. And I really believe the Mets and or Phillies could offer him the job as early as tonight. Now, you have to fire your manager first. And the Dave Dombrowski, it took me 3 seconds to realize, wait, Dave Dombrowski, Alex Cora, 2018 Boston Red Sox. Oh, that was a World Series. If Dombrowski wants to keep his job, and it's been bad. I looked at the contracts they're eating right now. Nick Castellanos, Taiwan Walker. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Nola.
Yeah, I mean,
ouch.
Well, that one they're not eating yet. They're just watching it.
This is a bad baseball team, and I said this 2 weeks ago, Chris. They got old overnight. They're old and ineffective. That's what the Phillies are right now, and you got guys making a lot of money that aren't worth it.
I think Dave Dombrowski, to keep his job, again, I don't know if the ownership wants to fire him or not. I don't know if they would have another plan, but maybe hiring Alex Cora buys him a little bit of time. Let's find out if that one is connected. There's a couple other things going on, too, with the Braves. We'll talk a little bit more about the Tigers coming in, but they have a chance to historically do something by May 1st. Historically. Like when you have to go and you say 2, 3, 4 people maybe in 140 years have done this, the Braves have an opportunity as long as they keep their foot on the gas. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Turner hit a home run, Harper hit a home run, Schwarber hit a home run, and they ended up winning an extra inning game that went kaflooey because the guy who was in the game was what you needed to put in the game with Jose Suarez. Well, Ronaldo Lopez, if you're welcome into the bullpen and Strider comes back, we might have an answer as to who might be gone.
Lopez was up throwing late in the game yesterday, and then Walt Weiss said what he said after the game about future rotation plans, which we'll get into in the opening segment.
And the Hawks, they fell. They never were really in the game. They just couldn't get a run together, down double digits most of the game, and now they have to go back to New York, and that place is going to be a madhouse as they try to go up 3-2.
They got pushed around. They got punched in the face, and they did nothing about it. So now, if you're the Hawks, how do you get up off the mat tomorrow night in front of a rabid crowd, as you mentioned, at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, C.J. McCollum is going to have to lead them, and, Jalen Johnson just has to have a monster game. Going to the playoffs, he had all those double-digit rebounding games, and now he only has one. He's got to find a way to figure out what it is about that Knicks defense that's bothering him and get over it so he can get some boards and get some more points on the board.
Well, you saw the bad Kuminga as well on Saturday. There's no reason for him to be shooting threes, but yet he's out there shooting threes. And I said it, even when he played well, a couple of games in the series, you're going to have to take the good with the bad as long as the good is there. There was no good from him on Saturday.
Well, that's a coaching decision. You have to emphatically say that's not your game. And if you choose to have that be your game, you're going to be sitting next to me.
I told the guys, I treat him like Josh Smith. I take a chainsaw and cut off one of his arms, and you just go to the rack. It's your job. You can defend with one arm. Don't shoot threes. We got 3-point shooters. Don't do it.
Even at one point, he's driving into 3-4 guys, trying to make too many things happen. The team panicked, and it showed. So they can't do that on the road, or this thing's going to end in 6. Because I think the Knicks will come back here and win that game as well.
Maybe I should tape it up. If I use a chainsaw, then he missed the next game. But you get my meaning. All right, we look forward to hear you guys for the midday show. I want to say thanks to Ice Cold Stu here, Andrew Groover back at the studio, Chris Thames, and the Road Dog. Great job back there. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 to 10. Room on the Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM.